Hello. My name is Shaquila Jordan. I am a missions counselor at Chowan University. I am from Suffolk, Virginia. I am a graduate from Chowan University. I have a bachelor's in science and sports management, and sorry about that, guys. And I minored in business administration while I was here. I also was a student athlete here. I played for the women's basketball team here. We also have the school record, that team that I was on. So yeah, everybody else. Anywho, a bunch of clubs that I was involved in, of course, I was involved in the SSP club. I was involved in Talent Club. I was involved in Rotaract. I was involved in SAC. I pretty much tried to be involved in a lot of things while on campus. Oddly enough, I missed a lot of things that I wasn't involved in. There were a lot of clubs and programs that I wish I would have been more into on campus, but hey, well, I got out of Chowan, I enjoyed it, and what I didn't, I learned about later, and now I can express it to everyone else who's coming as a student to give them excitement, let them know what they're, coming into, and just have a good time as a student here at Chowan University. That's pretty much it. All right, so now we're going to just see if we have a few questions. I see a few questions up here, so we're going to just answer some questions. Let's see what the first question is going to come from.
Okay, so we have a question. How much freedom does freshmen have in choosing courses?
Let's see. As a freshman, you don't necessarily choose your own schedules. Your advisor pretty much sets up that first semester for you because you are new, you're entering a major, and you don't know all classes you will need, and you don't want to just start off automatically getting in classes that you don't need. So our advisors pretty much choose classes for our freshmen. And also, our freshmen make their schedules at SOAR. We just recently had our first virtual SOAR about last week, I think. I'm probably wrong, but we just recently had our first virtual SOAR, and it was very successful. A lot of students got everything they needed. They were able to prepare to make their class schedules. Their advisors met with them, and it was just a smooth process. It was very, very, very simple and an easy process.
Okay, looks like we have another question coming in.
Okay.
Are the professors accessible outside of class?
Very. I can speak personally. Like I said, I was a student athlete when I was here, and there's this thing where at basketball we went to CIAA. Everybody knows what CIAA is. So CIAA is a tournament that we went to, and there would be times where I was at the tournament but couldn't be in class because of basketball. And Chowan also understands when you're a student athlete, you represent the university, so you won't get in trouble for missing work while you're on the road. Okay. But they're very accessible. I would be in my hotel room on probably Skype or something to a live feed with my professors, just helping me with my work if I needed to. I can honestly say Miss Williams, which she was my accountant teacher, she was very, very hands-on with me during that CIAA week. And also Tom Collins, who's my favorite professor on campus. He was my advisor also, but he is very good as well.
Okay. Here's another question. Are study abroad programs popular? Any ones in particular that you are aware of?
I am not totally aware, honestly. That was not something I didn't get into as a student, and I just started here in October, so that is not something that I'm very fond of. However, we do have a study abroad. I am aware that we've been to different places like Greece, Hawaii, and they've been to Jerusalem. So it's a bunch of opportunities out there, and we don't only do abroad. We do a lot of mission trips as well on campus for different community things. Just Christmas, I think a student mission trip went somewhere. I don't want to say the wrong date, but they went somewhere and they were feeding different families and homeless people. So that is something that Chowan definitely takes pride in, mission trips and also studying abroad to learn more about the outside world.
Okay. And it looks like Naima Harper.
Oh, this is actually one of my babies. Hi, Naima. Let's see. Do you have much free time? As a student, I did somewhat. Like, I was an athlete, so my free time would be me taking a nap. Like, that was my free time, or studying. I was very busy with classes and sports as well, so I didn't personally have a lot of free time. And when I did, it would be simple, like me hanging out with my teammates or just kicking it with friends on campus. I just didn't, find much free time for myself on campus. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody have another?
Here's the question. How large are the classes?
Okay, so our class ratio here is 16:1. Pretty much, to say the least, if you have a regular class where you are in an English or something, those are going to be your bigger classes. So coming in as a freshman, those are my biggest classes. My core classes were my biggest classes, and I probably only had about 35 to 40 students in those classes. Once I got more into my major, my class sizes shrunk a lot. Like, it went from being about 30, 35 to possibly like 20 or less students in some of my classes. So that was something that I enjoyed. I'm not a fan of all of the extra in the classroom. So that was something that really, really stuck with me at Chowan. I felt like I was able to focus a lot more. Teachers knew me as Shaky, Lil Shaky. They knew me personally. So those were things that I really enjoyed as well. Okay, we have a question. It says, how does the School of Music work at Chowan? Our music department is, honestly, that's not my field. I'm not going to tell you something wrong. Scott Parker is our man of music, and I'm going to ask him to step in on our live to help me out a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Scott's going to come in to help us out. All right,
okay,
so
I'm a little too tall for the camera, but there we go. So yeah, the School of Music, great program. They have things like the jazz band, if you're into jazz music. They have the concert band. We have a drum line that plays at the basketball games and football games. If you're into singing, we have the Chowan Singers, which they sing 2 concerts a year here on campus, and then they do some touring as well. And then we have the community choir, which is open to anybody. You don't have to audition or anything for that, but it is something that's open for any student to participate in. There are also auditions required if you're going to be a music major. So you would have to go in and audition, but if you go to our website under the academics, just find music and it gives you all the requirements of the audition. But it's a great program. You can do anything from music industry, which would be more like production, to performance or working in church ministry setting. Or you could do, something like being a choir director, school teacher, performer. Any of those things you can do with our music program.
So there you go. Scott Parker had my back on that one. We did just have some more questions come up, and this question is actually really, really good. Someone asked, how does this college help students deal with all of the racial and social issues that are going on in the United States? I would like to say personally, Chowan is a very diverse school. I'm going to honestly say the stigma of Chowan University is not what it's out to be. We are very diverse. The best thing that we do is to support our students and try to guide them on the right paths. Everybody deals with, racial and social situations differently, so you can't approach everyone with the same thing. We do have our counselor on campus, and her name is Miss Yolanda. She's amazing. From our students to our staff to even, random people in the community can come and talk to her. So that's something, if you're having issues with that, I would refer my students to Miss Yolanda to, get someone who's actually able to help them through their issues and help them understand different sides or point of views. That's where I would, direct those students to our counselor on campus. We have another question from my baby Naima. She's asking me about my freshman year. My freshman year, I'm gonna be honest, it went by really, really fast. My first year on campus, I did not play basketball, so it was fast and very long in a sense because I didn't get to play basketball, but I was very focused in school. So I was okay with that. I wasn't a very outspoken, or I don't go out much, so I was, to myself in a sense. But my first year was very simple, and it was easy. I'm just gonna be honest. It was easy. I think I made college more hype than what I thought it was, and I tend to do that. I hype myself up, so when I'm actually in a situation, it's just like, oh, you got it. And that's what it was. That was my first year. Let's see. I have a question. Someone says, if you pledge a sorority or fraternity, would you have to move out of your dorm? Oh, okay. So I can honestly say, here at Chowan, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have frat or sorority houses. So you would not have to move out of your dorm if you were on any type of sorority or fraternity line. I'm not. Yeah, that's not something we have. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Okay, so another question says, what is the total number of classes a freshman would have to take for his or her first year? It's not totally a number. So with college, you don't go off numbers, you go off the credit hours. So the max credit hours a freshman, you would want to take probably 15 to 16. You don't want to overload yourself. And then if you go above 18 hours, now you're paying more anyways. So we're not going to put you to that max. Your freshman is your first semester. Your first year would probably be about 15 to 16 credits, depending on what classes you take in your major. Let's see. Crystal's going to find us a question shortly. 1 second, guys.
Does sports play a large role on campus? What divisions are the sports teams?
Sports does play a big role on our campus. Chowan, let's see. I can't give you a number, but I believe majority of our students are student athletes, so they are a big part of our campus. What was the second part of the question? I'm sorry, Crystal.
It says, what divisions are the sports teams?
Oh, okay. So we are Division II, NCAA Division II, and we are in two different conferences. We are in the CIAA, and we also are in Conference Carolinas. So that is that. I do have a question up here. How did you juggle classes and sports? Time management. Time management is something that I had to learn really, really quick. In high school, I was a terrible procrastinator. And once I got to college, it hit me a little bit. You are going to have a lot of assignments. And no, the professors don't care that you have 3 assignments from this teacher and 5 from them. They don't care about that stuff. So time management is really something that you will have to focus on. And it's not easy. But, the people around you on campus will also help you with that as well. Because if they see you lacking or see that you're not involved as you should be, they're going to question you and say, hey, shouldn't you be doing this? Or, so that's what you're going to get off here, off Chowan University anyway. So you're going to be able to balance and make things work for you. Let's see. Another question came in and says, do freshmen start school earlier than everyone else? No. Everybody has the same move-in day, except for athletes. That's it. Everyone else moves in the same day. And our move-in day for this fall is August 23rd. Right, Scott? Yeah. We're gonna
Checking my email.
August 22nd.
22nd. That's wrong, y'all. August 22nd, all freshmen on campus.
All right. Here's another question. Do most students live in the dorms? Or what about sophomore or junior year?
Okay, so freshman year, we do have dorms for our freshmen, just plain freshmen. For our female freshmen, you will live in Belk Hall, and that is our freshman female hall. For our males, you will live in Parker Hall. For as sophomore and juniors, you will be able to move in different halls, but also you can live in White's Crossing. So for sophomores and juniors, and of course seniors, you can live in, for females, you can live in Simon's Hall. And then males, upperclassmen live in Dunn Hall. But White's Crossing is our suites and apartments. Our suites, you have 8 people living. You share a common area, which is a living room and a kitchen. And those are located on the first floor of each suite. So in the apartments, it's 4 people. You have a common area, kitchen, living room. 2 people share a bathroom, and you have laundry also located in your rooms as well. And yeah, that's just 4 people. But you do pay extra for the apartments because that's a private room. Let's see. Okay. You can go ahead and share the question.
Okay, looks like Lynette Carter has a question. Do most students get along with their randomly assigned roommates? That's a good one, Shay.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Because we give every incoming freshman or every incoming student a housing form, and it's called a housing preference form, and it's your preference. So if you don't get along with your roommate, more than likely it's because someone else filled out your form. We literally put people together who are super similar so that they won't clash. So that is based on our students pretty much. You know, if you do your part on your housing form, your roommate will possibly be your best friend. I promise you. Was there a second part to that question? I'm sorry.
No, it was just that one question. Okay, looks like Sharon Johnson wants to know what leads most students to choose Chowan.
I think honestly, the family that Chowan gives you makes you want to come here. Honestly, I can say when I was a student, before I came in, I didn't know about Chowan. I'm not gonna lie, I did not know about Chowan. I happened to see Coach Mashuda at a game, and we talked, and I'm just like, okay, sure. And then once I came to campus, that's what pretty much sold me. Campus pretty much gave me like this homey feel, and I am very, very a family oriented person. My family is everything to me. So, so that is pretty much where what I enjoyed about Chowan, like that got me together. Let's see.
No question.
Mm-mm. Oh wait, I do have one up here. Extracurricular. Okay, so someone asked, are there any extracurricular activities? Of course, we do have a lot of different activities on campus. My main, I would say, extracurricular activities that students actually do a lot on campus are our what are they called? Our sports, our intramural sports. Those are something that a lot of our students are into. We also have a bunch of clubs on campus, different groups. So yes, there are a lot of extracurricular activities on campus. And if so, what are some? Let's see. Yeah, intramurals. I would just say intramurals is one of our biggest things that our students participate in.
Okay. Looks like someone has a question. What was the most difficult part of adjusting to college from high school for you?
The independence, honestly. As much as I thought I was a big girl when I left high school, coming here my freshman year it was a big reality check. I realized I wasn't as adult as I thought I was, and that was my hardest part. Like just trying to make sure I was comfortable with the fact that I wasn't near my comfort zone.
We have another question from _sweet_T456. Can freshmen drive their first year, and how much is the parking fee? Great question.
Yes. Freshmen, you can bring your cars, and the parking fee is $0. All you have to do is just register your car with our public safety department. And once you register your car, they'll give you a decal, and that's all you have to do. Just don't park in staff parking because you will get a ticket. Simple as that, right? That's simple.
Okay. Looks like Morgan Frazier has a question. Can you tell me more about the application process?
Okay, so our application process is simple. If you want to apply, you literally can go to chowan.edu/apply and go ahead and apply. Once we get the application, it's me. Hey, Shaquila Jordan calling you. I got your application, and then the admissions process starts after that. So the first step is your application. But you can go online to chowan.edu, apply, or you can get a paper application. We can do that too. We can send it to you if you're interested. Let us know, and we will mail it to your house and get the process going. Oh, Harry, I love you too.
Okay. Here's another question. What qualities and experiences are you looking for in applicants?
Personally, when I reach out to a student, I kind of need their background story. I don't really, because everybody's different. So I don't think me as a counselor, I'm going to say, well, I'm only looking for students who have 4.0, boom, boom, boom. No, everybody's different. And I wasn't that student. I was not a 4.0 student. So I think everybody has their own situation and their own story. So I literally approach each student differently. That's the honest truth.
Okay, we have one coming in from Nicholas Baker.
Okay.
What sort of student would succeed here?
What type of student would succeed at Chowan University? I would honestly say any student can succeed at Chowan University. It's just, are you going to do your part as a student to succeed? And the thing is, with our class sizes being so small, it helps because professors can see when you're not succeeding. They can point out small things. And also, we also have our academic success team. They are very strong in helping our students make sure that they are succeeding, because once they lack even a small part, it's the small difference in your GPA, you're going to get called into academic success to say, hey, we noticed something different, so what's going on? And then we try to get a plan together. So any student can succeed. It's just, are you going to do your part and put in the work to be successful here?
Okay. We have another one from Corey Adams. What kind of food does the dining hall serve?
Alright, so we have a little bit of everything. I'm just gonna be so honest. As a student, my favorite thing was fried chicken Tuesday. I'm not even gonna lie. Chicken was good, but like we have different specialty days on campus. There have been times where we had like Caribbean days on campus. Like I said, we are very diverse, so we have a lot of international students here. Sometimes we have different. Maybe you'll have some Haitian food, some Jamaican food. We just literally try a little bit of everything. But we also do have our on-campus restaurant that we refer to as Murph's, and then Murph Subs. And basically what Murph's is we would just say, if you are used to cookout or a burger place, that's pretty much what Murph's would be. You can get tenders and stuff like that. And Murph Subs, of course, is our sub line. We like to refer to that as Subway because we get our bread baked fresh every morning, etc. So that's our Subway and cookout on campus.
All right. It looks like _sweet T456 has another question. Do y'all have morning or night classes?
Both. We do have both morning and night classes. So it kind of depends, your major, of course, and also whatever time you want to take classes. You can pick and choose, if you would like morning classes or if you would like to take them later on in the day. Me, I got all of my classes over with during the morning so I could have my afternoons. So yeah, that's something I did as a student. Let's see, we do have a different question. This person says, I have an interest in technology and electronics. Would you recommend that I reach out to Okay, I'm guessing they're asked. Okay, who would I recommend that they reach out to? Um, for technology and electrician. Honestly, I'm gonna bring in Star Parker again. Okay, I got it, guys. I'm sorry. Information systems is where you're going to be directed to. So that is a major where you would look, Calvin Spragley. Their information systems. Sorry about that.
Okay. We have another question from Caleb Walker. What are the best places to study on campus?
The library. No, honestly, I didn't even study in the library, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the quietest places on campus. So I would recommend the library. But no, I've also seen students out in Squirrel Park laying down studying. Wherever you're comfortable is pretty much where you would study.
Okay. From Richard Salisbury, how are freshman advisors assigned?
Freshman advisors are assigned by their majors. So that literally, whatever your majors are, more than likely your advisor is going to be department chair of that major.
Okay, and he has another part to that question. Is it easy to change your major?
Definitely. It's very easy to change your major here at Chowan University because we don't make you declare your major until you're a sophomore. So that gives you more than enough time to pick and choose, mix and match those first 2 years. That's all the time you need. You have that first 2 years to figure it out, and once you figure it out, you declare your major. That's the same one.
Okay. From Courtney Rowley, how would you describe the freshman experience in terms of advising or any classes that everyone has to take?
Freshman experience. Honestly,
Like, are there any like particular classes that freshmen have to take when they come?
yes, there is. We have these things called perspectives. Those are things that freshmen had to take. And then there is a class that we actually put freshmen in now. It was not here when I was a freshman, but I think it's really good that they have it now. It's actually a CU experience class. Basically, it's kind of the intro classes to teach students how to be freshmen in colleges or what things to expect your first year in college, and that's pretty much where we held that class.
From Rebecca Spragley, how are the resident counselors? And I guess I'm assuming she's meaning like RAs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our RAs are usually students, so they're your peers. They are going to be people who you're going to see in class. They are going to be people who you walk past every day. And they're just regular students. You know, there are people over top of our RAs. We call those RDs. More than likely, they have been doing the RA job for a while, and they're, probably superior. So they're the RD. But yeah, that's pretty much our RAs are your peers, and we have a team to oversee them, of course. But they're normal students. So if you are a student and you would like to do work study or you would like to be a RA, that's something you can do. Work study is a job and on campus. So yeah.
And she also has another part to that question. Do they like plan social events for freshmen to get to know each other?
on campus? Do the RAs?
The RAs, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. So, when I was my RA, we had every building has themes. Every RA, just themes for their whoever's coming in their halls, and we do have different small activities. There will be game nights in our lobbies. There will be movie nights in our lobbies. So there are small little activities that your RA would do with you. And they also are there just for you to go and talk to if you need someone to talk to. They can be your counselor. They can be your friend. So, use them to your extent. Use them as much as you need to. They're there to help you and assist you.
Okay. And looks like _Chrissy has a question. How hectic is move-in day?
Move-in day. Okay, as a student, it was very crazy. It was a lot. I didn't expect it to be as long as it was. It took me and my family a long time to get me moved in, and I didn't think I had a lot of stuff. My sophomore year, that is usually where I was an athlete then, so I was assisting incoming freshmen moving. So that was something that we do. Our athletes who are already on campus, they also help you in on move-in day. So it's not as hectic as it could be because you have assistants also. But and if your express check-in, move-in day is a breeze. And express check-in means you did everything that I informed you that you needed to do. And if you don't have express check-in, it's just a long day. So my babies that are watching, we're going to do express check-in, okay?
And also another thing to add to that, try to get here early. Early
not
as
on
you
time.
Can.
Early. Like, get here early, okay? Because those lines are long. My first year, I was not express check-in. So it's not good. It's really, really not good. So, yes, make sure you do express.
Okay. Looks like Cindy Bell has a question. And this is something else like with room assignments and things like that. Okay. What would I do in case of a conflict or need for a room switch?
There is a period. We have a room changing period that is free. When that period opens, if you secretly don't like your roommate, you would inform your RA to let them know, hey, I want to change roommates. They'll give you the paperwork to get your room changed, and it could be that quick. Now, if you're trying to change roommates outside of that, that marking period, it may be a little more difficult. But if it's a clear problem and we need to separate you, Residence Life will definitely get that squared away in no time. So it'll be something simple that can happen.
Okay. Naima said she planned on getting here early.
Exactly. Good job, Naima. You're going to get here early, and then we're going to meet, and it's going to be great.
Okay. So Heath Britt is asking, does the dining hall accommodate special dietary restrictions?
Yes, we do. We just need you to inform us if you are a person who are lactose. We need to know that. Of course, you can choose your own milk and stuff. But if you like gluten-free, our CAF does make sure we have food for different people. If you are vegan or vegetarian, there are options for you here on campus in our CAF as well. Are there any rules for the dorm? Me personally, I'm a counselor, so I'm not sure what the rules are for the dorms. Your RA will lay down every single rule that first week once you are on campus. And they will give you pretty much everything you need to know, and just don't go against what they tell you because you will get wrote up. That's something that we take pride in. We want all of our students to respect our RAs because they are your peers. So yes, but they will give you the guidelines and the rules of the dorm. So just follow them and make it easy on yourself. Let's see. What is it like to work with the students? I love it. Every student is different. I have some very wild and crazy students, and I have some just very chill and mellow students, and I love it. Like, my students are very, very different and exciting in a good way. In a good way. All right, let's see. Look at, and I realize who asked that question too.
Right.
Now.
Okay, so here's another question. Are students usually able to take their first choice courses? Like, I guess.
I think that pretty much is asking, do they get to make their schedules?
Yeah, pretty much.
Freshmen, no, your first semester, you will not get a chance to make your own schedule. Your counselor is going to do that. I mean, your advisor, not your counselor. I'm not making anybody's schedules, okay? Your advisor will make your schedule for you your first year, your first semester.
And underscore sweet tea 456 has a great question.
Okay.
Is move-in day or first day of classes still scheduled due to COVID-19, or will there be online learning?
Look at that. That's an amazing question, because look at the time we're in right now. Honestly, Chowan University, we are planned to open for the fall. We are literally we have our plans together to open in the fall. Oddly enough, we are aware that we have to follow guidelines. We are going to follow the CDC. We're going to follow the governors, the governments, and we are going to follow our president on campus. So that's pretty much, we're going to follow guidelines and do what's best for the students' health and ourselves as well. You know, we don't want to put anyone in harm, so that's what we're going to do with that.
And we do have a task force
Yes,
on campus.
there is a team of amazing, hardworking people that are trying to put in different things on campus, different things that we've already started putting in, sanitizing things. We have a bunch of face masks on campus, and just small bits and pieces to try to, you know, make it comfortable for everyone and make them feel secure and safe.
Thank you for that question.
Right.
Okay. We have a more of a classroom type question.
Okay.
How many hours of class do students typically have each week?
Honestly, that depends on how you make your schedule. Honestly. Now, actual class time, if I'm not mistaken, you have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. Most times they're 50-minute classes for the most part. Then you get deeper into classes. You have some Tuesday and Thursday classes, and I believe they're like an hour and 15 minutes. It's based on your schedule. The way you make your schedule is going to tell you how much work you're going to be doing and how much classwork you're going to be doing. So that's pretty much that.
Like, during your course here, what is the maximum amount of credit hours you took each semester?
It trickled. My first semester I took 16. My first 2 years, my first freshman year I took about 15 or 16 per semester. My sophomore year I kind of moved it up a little bit. I probably took about 16, 17. My junior year probably kept it simple. My senior year, I was a redshirt freshman, so that meant I had another year of basketball, even though I was a senior. So initially, I set it up to where I would be able to take all of my classes through my senior year to play my last year of basketball. I did not play my last year of basketball here, and then I went up to 21 credits my last year, because I just was, you know, ready to get away from school. I was out of school. I was done. So I'm just like, hey, you know. So, and I did pay, because I told y'all, if y'all reach that above 17 mark, you will have to, you know, pay more money for those classes because you're exceeding the limit.
Shaky, if you would explain like a credit hour, how many classes that would be, because I know some people.
Okay, so usually your core classes are 3 credit hours. So English is probably going to be a 3-hour credit by itself. Most classes with labs are 4 credit hours for the most part, and their labs are always 2-part classes. You have a classroom session and then you have a lab session. That's just normal. And we also have 1 credit hour classes, which are like our activity classes. We have basketball. Of course, I'm gonna name that first. Soccer. So credit hours, literally, they're different between the classes.
Joe Williamson.
Joe, this is one of my babies, y'all. What is your favorite place to show the students on tour through campus? My favorite place is probably I would say Squirrel Park, because you literally from Squirrel Park you can see the vast majority of our campus. That's and you can see full scenery in Squirrel Park by itself. Like you get that. Oh, okay, this is nice. This is Chowan. We're small and neat, but we're family oriented and we're actually spacious but small. So yeah, Squirrel Park is my favorite area. How did I keep myself focused? Patrick Mashuda. Nah, I'm joking. That was my head coach. No, honestly, I kept myself focused. Once you have a goal, you just need to stick to that goal. I told myself I was a student athlete. I knew I had to be set to a certain standard anyway, so I set myself to a certain standard. And my coach also, he did not play that. Like, he was not with us having bad grades. He was not with us slacking, missing classes. So, although I had to be independent and wake up every morning, I did have help. So being an athlete helped me focus way more than I think if I was just a normal student just on campus and not having, someone saying, oh, well, you missed class, you're going to run these sprints. That gave me a lot of motivation. So, stuff like that. But I would say for people who are non-athletes, literally, find a group of friends who are as focused as you want to be and surround yourself around students who you think represent you well as a person.
Okay. All right. Looks like _Christy has another question. What study tips do you have? Great question.
What study tips do I have? I would honestly say do what works for you. I don't know. I lived with my teammates, and we more than likely we would study a lot together. I had one teammate who could read it and just know it, and love her to death. She's very smart. And me, on the other hand, I would love to just sit there and actually focus and do my work. Like, I don't know. That was just my main thing. Like, just get yourself in the zone and no distractions. So that's it.
Okay. And _Sweet Tea 456 has another question. He said, I signed up for June 20th SOAR. Is that going to be online, or is it still planned to show up? So I guess it could be here.
Are we going to be virtual or here?
Virtual.
Okay. Yes. Oh, that is virtual. We are going to do virtual because our first one was very successful. It worked out for us, and we had a lot of good feedback. And also, just because with the virus going on, we are still taking precautionary measures to make sure that everybody's safe. So yes, it will be virtual.
Morgan Freeman has a question. Did the professor...
Well, how ironic is that? Look, we tried to be serious. Sorry, baby. I just saw. Y'all know who we saw. Morgan Freeman. Come on, man. Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Do the professors hold office hours? And how often can students interact with professors?
All right, sorry about that, y'all. Look, okay. Our professors have an open door policy. Pretty much, we have this thing that if they are in their office, you are more than welcome to walk in and get advice or help or whatever. They do have, when they're not in their offices, of course, you will have to set up an appointment if you need to speak to your professors. But they are very lenient with meeting with you, and they'll text you, call you if that's what you need. They are very willing to do that for you. Morgan. Yeah, there you go, baby.
They weak too.
Right?
Emojis.
Because that was just random. I'm just like.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next question. Here's a good one. The dorms on campus. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. Yes. Okay. So you mean like once you're in that, like you want to know what it looks like? Like what? I need a little
Do
more.
freshmen like stay in particular dorms? Can I live somewhere different when I become an upperclassman? How does that work?
So freshmen, our females live in our Belk Hall. That's our freshman female hall. Our male freshman hall is called Parker Hall. Upperclassmen live in Simon's Hall or Dunn Hall, or also you can live in White's Crossing. And White's Crossing is our apartments and suites that we have on campus. And you're able to actually sign up for White's Crossing after your second semester of your freshman year. So heads up, my babies, y'all get on that. Go to White's. So yeah, that's pretty much. And once you get to White's, we have apartments and suites. The apartments, you have 8 people. You share a common area. 4 people are one side bathroom, other side. You have a kitchen and laundry area downstairs, located on the first floors of our apartments. With our with our suites. Sorry about that. With our apartments, there are 4 of you all. You share a common area, kitchen and living room. You already have a washer and dryer in your apartment. And it's just 2 people to each side, but you do pay an extra fee because that's a private room in a sense.
Okay. And underscore Chrissy said, speaking of dorms, what's visitation?
Visitation is set by the RAs for the most part. But I do believe every dorm hall has a midnight curfew because we make sure that our freshman females, our freshman males, or upperclassmen males and females. We are a Christian university, faith-based university. We do not need our students fraternizing, so we do have a curfew. Most halls, I'm just going to say from what I can remember, is midnight. And if you are caught in those halls after those hours, you will be fined. You will have a hearing, and then there's a process for that. But yes, you are allowed in the others dorms. If you are a female, you are in a male dorm, you have to be escorted by a male at all times. And if you are a male in a female dorm, you have to be escorted with a female at all times. No male can enter our female halls with his ID card, and vice versa. No female can do that with our male halls as well.
Okay. Underscore shifty to real.
Okay.
What do you like about Chowan?
What do I like? As a student, I like the fact that it just felt home. It felt like family. It didn't feel too overwhelming. It didn't do too much for me. It was good with what I needed in that moment. It was small, it was simple, it was very hands-on, and that's what I loved as a student. And as an employee, I had to love it because I came back to work. As an employee, I love the fact that everyone knows me as, oh, that's Shaky. That was, that our basketball. She played on our basketball team, but now they see me as Shaky the professional, Shakila the professional, and that, with everybody seeing growth within myself, it makes me really like, Chowan did this to me. It helped. So yes, that's what I enjoy the most.
All right, Shaky, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
Alrighty, guys.
I don't see any other questions.
Yes, I think we are good.
Do we want to do the drawing now?
Yeah.
For those who ask questions? Okay.
So if you participated in asking me a question, we are going to do a drawing really, really quick, and let's see who wins. Just see. It is Sweet Tea 456. So Sweet Tea 456, we need you to DM us so we can get your information, and we'll be sending you a prize. All right. Thank you all for joining my session. I appreciate it.
Everybody stay on. We're going to take a break for just a minute to switch people. So just stay right here on this live feed. It'll be right here on the same channel in just a minute.
All right. I'm out of here. Gosh, sleep.
get the credentials up there.
His life is instrumental.
Hi, everybody. My name is Buddy Rutledge. I'm an admissions counselor here at Chowan University. I hope a lot of my students are in here. I think I've been talking to you throughout the week. I just wanted to kind of, mention to you, we are going to be doing a live drawing during this. So if we, get a comment in the sections there, we'll do a raffle, and I'll pull your name towards the end, and we'll send you some goodies. Okay. But yeah, just any questions you got, you can go ahead and just ask me. It's what I'm here for. Part of my job. I really enjoy that as my job. I'll give you a little bit of a quick background of my story here at Chowan. I was actually a transfer student. I did attend a community college for 2 years. I found Chowan, and I really just fell in love with everything they had to offer. Academics-wise, it was a challenge that I've never had in my life before. It really challenged me as, on an educational level. I really did enjoy that. But then, too, the engagement that I got from my professors was a 360 change versus what I got at the community college level. And I will say I have the unique pleasure. Scott Parker right here, he was my admissions counselor when I was a student here. He works with our transfer students as well. So if we do have any transfer students watching, or any people who know transfers, we can answer questions too. But yeah, and really I got an offer to work here after I graduated. I graduated this past May. So about a year from about 2 weeks ago, actually. So, but yeah, I was super happy to come back home and super happy to be working with students.
Yeah, and I wanted to hop in just because I've got a lot of students that may be watching too, so that way you guys can see me. I know if you're watching on Instagram, you can't see me, but
He's here.
we can't both fit on the screen, so you'll see my arm. But we are, if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, you should be able to see us both. But we're here to answer any questions for you for the next little bit. My name's not on the screen, obviously, but now you know who I am, and I am Director of Admissions here. I work with transfers, anybody from outside North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and South Carolina, and working with international students and students from Western North Carolina. So if you're any of those, you've probably talked to me already. So
Yeah, and I mainly work in Central Virginia and Central North Carolina as well. So like I said, if you kind of fall in that region, you've talked to me a lot. I've done a couple school fairs as well. One of the cool things about our office, and really about every office here on our campus here, is if you have a question, we always encourage asking. Right? Any unasked question is something we really we don't like. We love answering questions, and that's something we don't want to leave anybody left out or in the dark about anything. So.
Oh, hey, Instagram, you can see me now.
There you go. There we go. We fixed it. All right. Do we have some questions here?
Let's see.
And I might need some help reading. I don't know if any of you can tell. I'm about as blind as a bat. So.
Okay, let's see. Were all these answered, Crystal, in the last session? Did we answer how to keep yourself focused?
We're gonna start off with a question that we hadn't answered on the last session. Can you explain SOAR?
Okay, so what SOAR is, it's our Student Orientation Registration Day. SOAR is a really cool event. It's one of the best opportunities for you to really take a look at student orientation information coming as a new student. But the main part of SOAR is us getting you in contact with your academic advisor and setting you up a good class schedule. I think our last event we had, it was roughly about 2.5 weeks ago. We did do an entirely virtual event due to the COVID-19 crisis. We have been talking, and the next event is going to be entirely virtual as well. If you're interested in that, or if we're going to get registered for that, we're going to stay in contact all the way through it. But I really do think that if you do attend that event, you will really enjoy the engagement that you get with your professor and having that chat with them about exactly what you're interested in studying.
And I was going to chime in on that too. I know it's been a little different this year doing virtual, but I've been here for 18 years, seen a lot of SOARs. But I will say the excitement that I've seen from students with just getting there. For those of you that came to SOAR, you got a SOAR packet. The students were really excited about the SOAR packet. For those of you who didn't come to SOAR, you don't know what I'm talking about. But you need to sign up for the next SOAR because not only will you get a class schedule, but you'll get a nice box with some really fun stuff. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but you will get some fun stuff. And if there are any students in here that have been to SOAR, you can post about it if you want to, if you got pictures of you with it or whatever. But I've heard a lot of excitement from students. I've actually had some students reach out and say, hey, I haven't gotten my box yet. And other students are telling me how cool it is. So, we're trying to make the best of it and still have a lot of fun with it.
And I think that was the best part that I've heard from some of my students that attended the last event is how much, fun they had just talking with professors and talking with somebody in their major, and really setting up that good conversation for when you do arrive here on campus, because it's not just going to stop there. It's going to be going all the way through, even up until after you graduate.
All right, great. So we'll get started with the questions.
All right.
Bryce Davis has a question,
Okay.
and he wants to know, are there any honors programs or capstone classes
Okay.
that you have to take?
Yeah. So with capstone, it depends on your major. I'll just give you. I was history major, right? And part of our, part of your degree requirements for history is you have to take a capstone. I know usually if you're going into a teaching class, I do know that if I'm not mistaken, biology majors also have to do capstone. So a lot of your majors in that field, they will have to have a capstone. That is one of probably the most challenging classes you'll take in your career. But I will say you will enjoy that probably more than any other class that you take, simply because, one, the challenge level is there, and then two, the independence that you get. Now, obviously, your professor's there to help you out, but part of that capstone is you've reached the pivotal point in your educational career. It's you taking that next step out on your own, saying, hey, look, this is what I've learned. This is what I've got to show you. And, your professors are going to help you, but, they're going to say, hey, look, deadlines, that's all you, stuff like that. You need to be, making sure you're doing proper research, citing stuff. They'll help you out with that stuff too. But really, that's one of those courses where I really enjoyed mine. It is stressful. I don't know if you see some of the gray hairs here, but that helped. But I will say, it just depends on what major you're in. As far as honors classes and honor societies, we do have honor societies. We have several. I was involved in at least 3, if I'm not mistaken. I was Phi Alpha Theta, Pi Gamma Mu, and Alpha Chi. Phi Alpha Theta was specifically for history, which yet again, huge history buff here. And like I said, it's different for every major. A lot of majors have either 1 or 2 honor societies for each individual major. And then 2, we have, different ones that are nationally offered. As far as honors college, if you do honors college, that's usually taught by Dr. Danny Moore. He's a provost here at Chowan. Super nice guy, very knowledgeable, and that is something we do offer here as well.
And something I'll chime in about the honors college, because I get a lot of questions about this too. You don't fret if you don't get chosen for, if you really have your heart set on being an honors student and being in honors college, but you don't get chosen as a freshman. There's pretty stringent requirements coming in as a freshman. Most people that get into honors college get in after their first year. So you can come here, you can do well, you can do that president's list, that dean's list, and you can get invited as a sophomore, a junior, or even a senior. So, and same thing with honor societies. There's a freshman honor society, but there's also honor societies for, upperclassmen. There's honor societies in every major. So lots of opportunities to excel and get honors. And we find most of our students tend to do that after they get here, not necessarily when they first come in.
Yep.
Okay, great, guys. Underscore Shifty to real.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most amount of people in a class?
So, it really just depends. Speaking of honors college, I think that's probably one of the largest classes that we probably have here on campus. And granted, that's usually pushing about maybe 45 students, right? So typically, you're going to be taking general education courses your first year as a freshman. Typically your first 2 years, really. You're going to be taking a lot of those because no matter what degree path you're going with, you still have to have general education courses, right? So since it's a lot more people taking those, they're going to be a little bit larger, about 35 students, maybe a little bit less, around 30. But one neat thing about our school is, once you get further into your degree field, and yet again, I'll just, talk about my experience here. In my senior level classes, when I was a history major, especially capstone, there were only 7 people in that class with me, and they were all my buddies. I had been taking classes with them for 2 years. I knew every one of them like the back of my hand. I mean, we were very close. We knew how to help each other out when we were studying. We could bounce ideas off each other. And it's going to be like that for you. When you get further into your degree path and you get further down the line, it's just you and a bunch of your friends hanging out. And it's one of those things that I really enjoyed here versus, when I was in community college. Because yet again, with that experience, it just felt like, it's like high school all over again. And I really, I wasn't really looking for that. I was looking for that challenge. And, really, I mean, yet again, it may vary from, class to class, but typically it's around maybe 25, 30. And then as you get further up, senior, junior year, it gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, and so that, that's really good. Like Blake said, really you're going to look at 25, 30, maybe 35 mark for your freshman level classes. So you're going to know those professors. Even in your general ed courses, your professors are going to know your name. You're going to know them. You're not at this large lecture hall. Like when you always tell people when you see colleges on TV, you think these big lecture halls, and the teacher doesn't know who you are. They don't care if you're there. That's not Chowan. They take attendance. They're going to know you're there. They're going to know your name. They're going to be available for you with office hours, things like that. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for you to be successful and work with your professors and the faculty members here.
Okay. And Shifty to Real has another question.
Yep.
What's some good advice coming into college?
Okay, so I'll give you a couple pointers here. So one, definitely listen to your professors. That's something that I got a little bit of a bias. My mom, I love her to death. She's a teacher, and I've got huge respect for teachers. And this goes to doctors, professors, people with master's degrees, all the way down to elementary school, pre-K. Teachers are really the backbone of America. I don't think they get it celebrated enough. And that's something, I took that even when I was going into college. I mean, and I made it, and yet again, that was the cool thing about Chowan is, you already kind of have that connection with your professors. But for me, one of the more awesome things is, when I was done after my first set of classes, my first year I was here, I mean, I made it a point, whether it was a history professor or not, I went up to the class after it was over. I introduced myself. I talked to them, got to know them, and like I said, they take the time to know you here, and that's one of those things where, I really enjoyed that aspect of Chowan, and that's something that, like I said, it's just one of those things where, you're not going to be just a number in the crowd. Another thing too is definitely set up a schedule for yourself. If they say read, definitely read. Don't skimp over. Don't use quick notes, anything like that. They will know. You'll know, because when it comes lecture time and you're having a group discussion and you don't know, So don't skimp on your reading either. But and then too, take good notes and then make good friends. Friends are. I can't tell you how important friends are in college, and that's one of those things. We try to set you up with a good friend whenever we get your housing form in. That's a big thing for us. Making sure all that info is correct, so we can get you, a buddy getting out of the gate. But two, talk with people in your major. Talk to your professors. Get involved in clubs, stuff like that, because your friends are going to become your family. And like I said, that's one of those things I can't stress enough. Is even if you're shy and knock on wood, surprisingly, I was a very shy person in high school. I really didn't talk much. It wasn't really until I got here that I kind of opened up, and that's one of those things where, it'll help you. It really will, and friends are there for you. So, and
just to kind of piggyback on what Blake said, college is really what you make it. And I heard some of our students earlier when I was watching that panel, and one of the things they really said, like Sydney, I think it was Sydney that said this. She came from a larger place. So particularly for those of you that come from a larger city, this is not a big city. You can't just go down the street and go to the mall. You can't just go here and go there. We've got some great local restaurants, some, the essentials and things are here, but you can't just go out on the town and do things like that. So really getting involved on campus, meeting those friends, getting out of your room. You heard Sydney say that. Get out of your room. Don't just sit in your room, play video games. Meet your friends. Those people that you meet in college, I've worked with many students here over the years. Those people they meet in college are the people they're lifelong friends with. They're the people that are in their wedding. Sometimes they're the people that they marry. So, you want to get out of that. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to meet people that maybe you don't already know. If you know people that are here already, and just make sure that you're making the best experience out of it, and be involved. Just be involved in lots of things.
Great, guys. All right, we have another question from Zuhair Betach. I hope I'm saying that right, Zuhair. Do you have to be Christian to go to Chowan University?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
So you don't have to be, not at all. I mean, we've got students. One of the things I love about Chowan is our diversity. We have students from all over the world. We have all different faiths, all different cultures. You can walk around campus, you can hear all kinds of languages. You can walk in the back room of the admissions office on any given day. You could hear Arabic, you could hear British English, you could hear French, you could hear Spanish. There are other languages, French. I don't think I said that, but you hear all kinds of different languages on campus. Students come from all kinds of different backgrounds, all different kinds of walks of life. And what I love about Chowan is, even though we are a Christian school, we respect you and your faith for what it is. So if if you come from a Muslim background, or you come from a Hindu background, or you come from no background at all, that's perfectly okay with us. The only thing we ask is that you respect each other, and you follow the basic teachings of really all religions. Be kind to people, love each other. Be good citizens, be good global citizens, and those faith tenets that are pretty much across the board with any.
And to be honest, just like Scott said, I think that was kind of my takeaway is, no matter where you come from, no matter what religion, anything like that, we're very accepting. It's not something that we're going to tell you, no, we don't do that here. As long as, you bring forth the values of being a good person, that's mainly what we care about. And like I said, we like having that because it helps our community. And, like I said, as long as you're a decent person and you're here to learn and you want to help out, I mean, that's really what we care about. And like I said, it's one of those things where don't feel like you have to change anything about yourself. Don't feel like you have to give up something. It's one of those things. Don't worry about that. Our main thing is seeing you succeed in life. But excellent question though.
Okay. Now we have one from David Miller.
Okay.
What is your favorite place on the campus of Chowan University?
I got a couple. So it really depends on the seasons, I guess. I'm a big outdoors guy. All my coworkers know that. And one of my favorite places is during the springtime, right up front, we have these really good smelling bushes. I don't know exactly what they are. But they just smell really nice, and it's only about 3.5 weeks, and they'll bloom, and then they're done for the year, and then they come back. Around that area, when you first walk in, it's just like, oh my gosh, what does that smell? It smells so great, And then, Squirrel Park's always a great place. Like I said, we got benches out there, just kind of relax out there. It's very quiet. I like watching squirrels. I love animals. So, and then speaking of that, we have a pond out here on campus too. We get a bunch of geese. We got swans that come out sometimes. We get cranes. There's fish. One of the cool things and I've been noticing the past couple of days too. You can hear hawks out here too. We do have families of hawks that live out here, so that way you can always hear the Chowan hawks and everything. But yeah, really, just there's a couple spots around campus that I really enjoy. When I was an actual student here on campus, it was probably the writing center because that's where a lot of my friends were, my history major friends. And then the library, but really anywhere where they were, that's home for me. So.
And with me, I have several places. Like I said, I've been here a long time, seen a lot of changes at Chowan. But one of the places that I really like is really the newest spot on campus. It's the new outdoor chapel area. Oh, yeah. I had a chance to walk down. There was a beautiful day the other day, and they've got some nice wooden benches down there. They put this huge cross up down there, but it overlooks the lake and the fountain. So sitting there, and like Blake said, the geese were coming by, the birds were flying. It was a beautiful day. You could really just enjoy nature. So that's one place. And then another place, I really like the magnolia tree in Squirrel Park with the swing underneath it, just because I think it's gorgeous. And then the gazebo, and that's just because of the history involved in it. For those of you that have been on a campus tour, we always talk about the gazebo and how you ring the bell when you come in as a new student, and then our graduates, when they graduate, get to ring the bell when they leave. So, I think I just like the history of that. So those would be my three favorite places.
Yeah, I forgot about the gazebo. That's a good place.
Yep.
Okay. Now, James Coley wants to know, what are some of the main reasons you see students choose Chowan?
So it's different for everyone, right? Really, I mean, and we understand that sometimes this may not be the school for everybody. We get that. We see it every day here in the admissions office, but truly for me, what I see is, like I said, it's different for every aspect. A lot of students, they go through high school, and with me, it was partly the engagement, it was partly the academic challenge, and then two, really the extra cherry on top, I guess you could say, is when I got here, all the extra additives I got from either faculty helping me out, meeting friends that I could never replace, stuff like that. But it's different for every student. Some students are looking for that academic challenge. Some students, they don't want a huge school. They're very more, focused inward. They're, I guess you would say, introverts. Some students who are extroverts, they may get to another school and they thought that was for them, and then they get there, it's like, wow, this is not for me. This is not what I like. I'm terrible. It's miserable here. I want to be somewhere else. And they find us and like, I never knew this place was here. And that's one of those things where and then some students, this is really their home. I mean, they knew it from the second that they got out of the car. I have a friend, she her mom is very, very close with my dad, and we were talking about it, and her daughter went here. And her daughter had looked at several other schools, and this was one of the schools. She had a tour, she came out and she said, I'll check it out, right? They said 30 minutes into the tour, she walked over to her mom and dad and said, I don't care wherever else I go, this is where I want to be at. And she said, really? She said, yes, this is where I want to be. And they chatted the whole ride home, talking about, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? How are we going to do this or that? And she said, I don't care. It's going to be here. And this is where I want to be. And really, I love working with students regardless of whatever they choose, regardless of whatever they want to study. I mean, I just love working with my students. But when, that really, like I said, when you get that moment and you realize this is where I'm going to call home, just like, yep, that kind of puts a big smile on the face. I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, I would say that, they choose here because of the care and the love and the kindness, that they get. And again, referencing what one of our students, Harry, said earlier, it was that personal touch he got when here he is across the pond, looking to come to school, still a little nervous about everything, and then he gets a FaceTime call from the provost of the university to help him make his schedule. That doesn't happen everywhere, but that happens here. You're going to know Dr. Peterson, our president. You're going to know Dr. Moore, who is the provost. You're going to know your admissions counselor. You're going to know your professors. So that, to me, that's important, is that you really develop those relationships, and that's what makes us different.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Now, Monique Rivera wants to know, what are dorms like?
Okay.
Like, are there lounges, laundries, kitchens, private restrooms? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, so our residence halls, we have, freshman residence hall. We also have upperclassmen residence hall, and we also have a upgraded senior living facility towards the back end of campus called White's Crossing. We have a couple different options. So your first year coming in as a freshman, we do require you to stay in the residence hall. This builds a couple things, a little bit of responsibility. One, we want you to make a couple friends, because when we move to maybe apply to live in White's Crossing, we want to make sure that you're going with a good group of friends that you're, really want to be together with. With your residence hall, you're going to have a roommate. We do have communal bathrooms. Yet again, this is one of those things that we do to kind of build some responsibility. This is the first time really that you're possibly going to be living on your own, away from home. So that way you can kind of build that up. And then, like I said, later on you can go to, White's Crossing, just get your paperwork in. We do have laundry facilities in your residence hall as well. So you'll have access to that. Same thing in White's Crossing, that'll be available as well. As far as communal kitchens, I believe we have one in.
There's one in Belk Hall, and then there's at least a shared kitchen in White's Crossing in all of those buildings.
Okay, yeah. So that's available too. We do have our caf here on campus. We do have Murph's, which is our on-campus kind of fast food restaurant, kind of like if you ever had Cookout, it's similar to that. It's very good food. We got a sub bar in there, and then two, we have several restaurants here in town as well. But yeah, and like I said, we try to, like I said, if it's something along the way that we can help you out with, you got a question, just let us know, and we'll take care of it. But that's definitely a good question, though. Yes.
And one thing I'll just chime in real quick
Yeah.
for my my transfers that may be watching. You do have the opportunity, as most of you I've told, you do have the opportunity to apply to live in White's Crossing as a new transfer student coming in. So if you're interested in that and we've not already talked about it, you haven't done your deposit or whatever, let me know. We'll talk about the possibilities of getting in there. Like I said, it's not a done deal, but it is a possibility for you.
And that's transfer students.
Right, for
Okay.
right, yes, yeah, that's definitely, thank you,
Okay.
Crystal, that's definitely transfer students, not first year freshman students.
Okay. So Caitlin Mahoney has a question, and this is the question that I've been waiting for.
Okay.
How's the Wi-Fi?
I would say it's pretty good. One of the things that I will note is, typically when we do Wi-Fi here, we have general Wi-Fi just kind of all around campus, right? So if you're in a building, for example, generally that's open to the public. Now, when you're a student here, we're going to give you access to Wi-Fi in your residence hall. So you will have access to that. That's kind of a more private network, so it keeps you on that level. And I think we kind of do that as more of a security thing, so nobody from outside can be like, oh, let me just pop in here and take a look at everybody's. No, we didn't want to risk that at all. But yes, you will have access to Wi-Fi. Now, granted, like I said, when you get off campus, it may be a little bit shoddy. I live out in the country, so that's one of the things. We are in a more rural community, so you might get some dead spots, but typically on campus you should be good to go. Whether you got your your phone, your tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, smart TV, stuff like that, you should be good to go.
Yeah, and I'll just to kind of piggyback on that. Not only do we offer you the Wi-Fi, but you can hook your gaming devices up to it. You can do your phone. You can do like streaming sticks, smart TV, all that kind of stuff. But cable TV also comes in the room, guys. So if you're into watching cable TV, all your sports channels. Hopefully, we'll have sports again in the fall that we can watch. But sports channels that you can get, a lot of your movie channels, all your basic cable stuff. So if you got a favorite show you like to watch, you can watch it here in the residence hall with our cable TV.
Okay.
It's a good question, though. Very important.
All right. We have Maurice Fountain.
Okay.
He wants to know, can you tell him more about the application process?
Yeah. So as far as your application, one of the things that we try to do as admissions counselors is we leave ourselves open to any student, no matter where you are in the process. Say you just deposited and you're worrying about your medical form, I'm there for you. Scott's here for you. Our admissions team is there for you. Or if you're just a student who's curious about applying, that's something I would encourage. If you are curious, give somebody a call. We're not scary people. We don't like to be. We try not to be. But one of the things that I really enjoy is talking to students who are curious about the school and curious about what they want to do with their future. I love chatting with my students, especially students who are getting ready to apply or just applied, chatting with them about what they're thinking about doing with their educational career. And I don't know if you've had time to watch any of the videos that we put up today, but a lot of those videos that we worked on, we tried to make sure we talk to alumni who are succeeding in their educational careers after they leave here. So that's one of those things where we wanted to touch base with them. But that's something I start that process as soon as you're even interested in maybe even applying. And obviously if you got questions about anything, that's always something I always tell my students. My door's always open. You can send me a text. You can leave me a message on my phone. You can call me. If you want to do a FaceTime, I'm not that great with it, but I'll do it. That's something I'm always open to. I'm not the greatest. I'm not a technology whiz, but I try to be. But yeah, and that's something, and even if it means me writing a personal note to you and your family, if you've had a bad time. I know I've talked to some of my students and they said that, they had a death in the family or they had something come up, they couldn't make an event. I'll take time out of my day. I'll write you a note saying, hey, how's everybody doing? If you need to talk to me about something, feel free. Like I said, that's something I don't mind doing at all. It's part of why I do this job. And yet again, don't like to leave anybody out. So if you're interested, definitely just give me a ring or give somebody a ring and we can help you out, okay?
Okay. All right. Underscore sweet tea 456 says, can you bring a microwave to dorm?
Yes, you can. So we generally have a policy here. Nothing red hot, right? So no hot plates. Nothing like don't bring a George Foreman, anything like that. Even though you can't really get the same taste without one. But yeah, you can bring a microwave. And that's something too when we do your housing form. When we give you that contact info with your roommate. We're going to give you that time to kind of work out. So, hey, look, I'll bring the mini fridge if you bring the microwave, or I'm bringing a TV. Do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation? Something like that, But yes, that is something you can do. So yeah, that is totally available. And yet again, you can bring a mini fridge as well. We do give you some storage area in your residence hall as far as putting your clothes and stuff. But you're more than welcome to bring like a safe, like a mini safe, or a chest or something like that. Some extra storage. That's totally optional. You can do that as well. So
And Blake talked about roommate, and that kind of triggered this in my head. Everybody, once you paid your deposit, said you're coming to Chowan, you have to do the housing preference form. You, the student, I know there may be some parents watching, particularly on Facebook, but for you, the student, don't let mom fill out your housing form. Mom may think you go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, and that you study all the time, but you may stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. And binge study there at the very last second. So you want to make sure that we get a roommate that matches you, not matches your mom. So you want to make sure you fill out your housing form and be as honest as possible up there. Sorry, mom and dad, if you're watching, not to offend you, but just we've had that happen before. So we just want to make sure that that the student needs to fill that out.
And even too, I think there's a part that says like, what kind of music do you like? Even with that, like, if you're vibing John Mayer, I'm not going to throw you in with somebody who's like a hardcore Metallica fan. That's not going to mix well at all.
Hey, it mixes well in my music.
I mean, everybody's different, right? But like, just be informative. Like I said, it helps us out a lot. And like I said, or like Scott said too, I mean, we love our parents to death, but this is one of those things where we want you to do it on your own, okay? And, they can maybe help out a little bit later with the medical stuff, but definitely housing forum, that's your roommates. But yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if you all will know this, but hopefully you can direct them to the person that they need to talk to about it.
Okay.
Chowan U24 says, when is volleyball tryout?
Okay, so I'll talk about athletics. That's kind of my, I won't say area of expertise, but an area I know a little bit about. So most athletic programs here at Chowan don't really do tryouts. They do a recruit process. So we have an athletic website, gocuhawks.com, that is where you can find all of our sports. It's got a list of all of them. It's also got coaches' contact information. The best thing to do if you're interested in volleyball or any other sport is to log on there, find the coach's information. There's recruit questionnaires, fill those out, and then also email the coach with any stats, videos, things like that you have, because that's really the best way to get recruited. And then you may also want to copy your admissions counselor in that email. That way your counselor's aware of it, and then they can follow up, usually with me, because I talk to the coaches on a regular basis, and that way I can follow up and make sure that the coaches receive the information, and we can go from there.
Thank you for hanging on that.
Oh, you're welcome. that one I'm perfectly cool with. So
Obviously that question triggered another question about sports.
Mm-hmm.
Taquavion Wallace wants to know, does sports play like a huge role on our campus, and what division sports?
Okay, so it can. A good chunk of our students are athletes, but don't feel like if you're not an athlete that means you're going to be in the minority here, because you're not. I would say we have more students that aren't athletes than students that are, but we do have a large percentage of students that are athletes because we have 21 sports starting this fall. So it is a vital part in the fact that we have a lot of sports. We have a lot of students here that are athletes, and we encourage our students that are not athletes or even who play one sport to support the other sports. I mean, that's a big part of what we do. We're all a community. We're a big family here. You kind of look at it like, when you're in high school now or whatever, when your friend's playing in a ball game, you're probably going to go support them. Same kind of thing. And that's what's really cool about our athletic programs here. You go to a big school, you might see a guy on the field, you might know his name, you might have seen him on ESPN, but you really don't know him. Here, your buddy's going to be the quarterback. Your best friend's going to be the libero for the volleyball team. or the goalie for the soccer team, or things like that. So you're not just supporting the team and your school, but you're supporting your friend. But we are Division II in athletics. To answer that question, we're in 2 different conferences. We're in CIAA, that's for football and for bowling, and then the rest of our sports are in Conference Carolinas. So most of our teams travel relatively regional. So Conference Carolinas teams, they travel North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. And the ones in CIAA, it's North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. So, very, very regional travel. So we're not going to be playing like schools in California and things like that, unless it's in a tournament or something. Like if we're playing a national championship, I hope we're playing somebody from California. But under regular season play, we're not going to be playing that far away. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Scott. Quintera Majette wants to know about like studying abroad at Chowan.
Okay.
Can
So, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just
Oh,
saying,
okay, yeah. So, the study abroad program is a really cool program. Typically, what we try to do with that, I think they hold it more so towards the spring semester, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think they go ahead and get applicants around the fall, and they go ahead and when spring comes around, they get everybody prepped up for it, right? They've done several different locations. They've been to the United Kingdom. They've been to Greece. They've been to the Holy Land, Egypt. They've been to, I'm trying to remember one of the other places.
Did you say England and Scotland?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually, I think that was about a year ago, because last year they went to the Holy Land, which that was really cool. And that's one of those things where, you're there to learn, but you're also there to have fun. It's one of those things where we try to make it, engaging to where, you're going to learn some stuff, you're going to get exposure to new cultures, different ideas, stuff like that. But, part of the process too is, having a good time. It's fun. And one of the things too, I will say is, when you're in that program, they do offer, a scholarship or a grant that you can, to help pay for some of that. So, there will be a little bit of an out-of-pocket expenditure. But like I said, usually if you go ahead and try and work on that scholarship or that grant application, that'll get processed in. And if you're awarded it, it takes care of a good majority of the trip. And that's one of those things, that is something, if you're interested, they do try and offer it. And that's one of those things, not only through that aspect, if you also, still want to, maybe help out some more, I would suggest Campus Ministries. Campus Ministries does a lot of, travel as far as helping out. They typically do I would call a state trip, which is more America or, North or South America, and then they do an international trip. Usually, I think it's either one or the other, or they try to maybe do 2 in 1 year. I'm not sure. I know this past year they did do a mission trip in Hawaii, helping out a local community there. I think they were building houses, and they've also did a trip in the fall, more towards the winter actually. It was helping on the East Coast. They were helping homeless shelters in food banks, and they were basically serving meals, washing dishes, stuff like that. So,
yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on that, you do not have to be, a lot of times study trips, you have to be a junior or senior. Here, you can apply your freshman year and go after your freshman year.
I didn't know that.
And something else that's fun about those trips, or unique, I guess, about those trips, is they're led by actual Chowan people. So typically the president or Dr. Moore, the provost, people like that are leading the trip. So you're going to develop those relationships. If you're going to graduate school or you're looking to get a job, who better to get a letter of recommendation from than the president of the university who you traveled with for 2 weeks abroad and got to know well.
All right. Thank you, guys. Shifty to Real is asking, is it easy making friends?
And that's one of those things where, and I think Scott, kind of mentioned this before, the college experience, really, no matter where you are, is a lot of what you make it. And yet again, I know it can be hard sometimes. It really can, especially if you're a shy person. We're going to help try to break that shyness. Hopefully we'll get through. But that's something, like I said, we try to offer several events on campus, no matter, what major you're in. That way you can just kind of get involved, get out of your room, go start making those connections. I would say too, we have open houses for most of our departments. Go to one of those. Excuse me. Meet people in your major. That's another thing. They'll be very good friends along the way. And like I said, that's one of those gateways you can really make, and like I said, you can start making friends that way as well.
And just to kind of piggyback off of that, we do have, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of students from a lot of different places. So not only do you get a chance to meet friends, but you get to meet friends and learn things about them. I mean, every day with a lot of our student workers, like I said, that come from different places, I've learned more about their culture and where they're from. And to me, it's just it's fascinating. I was talking to one of our students the other day from another country, and I told her I felt like we were playing 20 questions because I was asking her all these things, but I really wanted to know, where's she from? What's the culture like when she's there? Is it a rural area, city? Those kind of things. And getting to know them, and that's how you develop the friendships, is just talking to people and, as we say, asking fact-finding questions to kind of figure out, are you somebody that I could potentially see myself hanging out with? Or, as some people will say, a potential spouse. Because a lot of people here, there's something about Chowan, they say that, you come here and you meet your spouses. We have a lot of students that do that. So you never know.
Yeah.
All right. Zamir Felton wants to know what is Express Check-In and what is the deadline for it?
Okay, so Express Check-In is really, it's something that I want everybody to kind of go for. That is, kind of our, that's what that's our goal, right? That's our, basically with Express Check-In, that means we've gotten your medical form in, we've got your housing form in, we've gotten your deposit taken care of way before that, hopefully. We got everything good with financial aid. We've had talks with financial aid in the business office, so we're maybe starting to set up a financial plan. We are, got our class schedule, everything like that. The deadline for that is going to be August the 1st. Like I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody gets that deadline in. We realize that may not be the case this year, or, it does happen where not every student has that. It's okay. We're still going to be working with you. But like I said, that's really kind of a good marker for us. That's kind of a good baseline that we want to try and get everybody to that point taken care of, ready to go. As far as move-in day, moving into campus and everything, that's going to be on August 22nd. We're going to try and have some help here to help you move in, everything like that. Make sure the transition's good. And then your classes should start a couple days after that on the 25th, which will be a Tuesday. So you'll move in on a Saturday, have Sunday and Monday to kind of settle in and adjust, and then come Tuesday, ready to rock and roll.
And then, piggybacking on what Blake said about Express Check-In, we say we want everybody to have it done, but anybody, if any of our current students are watching, they know if you're not Express Check-In, things can get hectic, things can get crazy.
Yep.
But when you're Express Check-In, it's just as simple as you walk in the door, you give them your name, they hand you a packet and your key and say move in and have a good day. You pick up your books and everything, and you're ready to roll. Whereas if you don't, they give you a ticket that says go over here at this time, wait in this line, go see these people. Then you can move in your room. So it's a whole lot easier. And remember, it's hot in August. So you don't want to be standing outside waiting in lines. You don't want to be getting frustrated. You want to be able to make it smooth and quickly so you can get inside in the air conditioning, sit down and relax a little bit.
Yep.
Right. Shifty to Real says, what are some of the events that happen on campus?
So, it just depends. We try to have a wide variety of stuff going on. Student life is definitely a heavy component of events here on campus. We have academic events. Especially during the springtime, very close around April and May, we will have, it's actually more so April, we have, academic conferences. We invite, people from outside of Chowan to come have lectures with us. We have in-house lectures, presentations. I did that as a history major. I loved it. We have, concerts. We'll have, maybe a pianist come and, play upstairs and turn auditorium. We try to have several events, like we do Relay for Life in the summertime. Unfortunately, this year it has been postponed, but that's a very large event for us here on campus. Certain clubs will do certain things. I know Criminal Justice, for example, they have a annual thing where they get the drug dogs and the officers the canine units, they'll come out and present Squirrel Park. Usually with that, it's actually like more of a community thing. We have a lot of people from the community come out and check out the dogs and the officers. We do things like we did a quiet dance party, which was really cool. I think a lot of students really enjoyed that. We basically got you headphones, and there was I think it was, maybe more like disco or like kind of dance floor music on one end, and then there was kind of like party music, like rap, stuff like that on this end. So, that way you can kind of go to different areas and just kind of, dance around, do your thing, everything like that. And like I said, we'll have events like I know we did a pop-up thrift store in the student center, the Hawks Nest. That was really fun. And then clubs too. Like I said, they'll do things around the seasons, like haunted houses for Halloween. We might do a ornament station around Christmas time, stuff like that. So.
And Greek life is very very active here on campus. So you got Greek life. You've got, as Blake mentioned earlier, campus ministry has something just about every night that you can get involved in. One of the big events we do here on campus is the Harvest Fest. I drew a blank there. Harvest Fest, where we invite, it's basically done on Halloween night. We invite the students, the little kids from the community and their parents to come on campus. But all the clubs and organizations will invite their students to participate. They actually build the booths. They decorate. They dress up for Halloween, because we all know college students like to dress up for Halloween more than little kids actually do. So we'll do things like that. And then academic departments will have like socials. So they'll have like a picnic where they'll do they might grill hamburgers and hot dogs and play kickball or something. And then sporting events, like Blake said, dances, just lots of stuff. There's something, we try to have something every night out of the week, at least one thing, and then plays and concerts on top of that.
Yep.
Okay. Another question from Shifty to Real. So, do football players move in earlier than anybody else?
Yes, but one caveat to that. So with football players, sometimes there's different categories of football players as far as how they work. If you're a red shirt versus if you're not a red shirt or something like that. So we always tell students, just double check with the coach to know what your move-in day is. But camp usually does start early. And of course, with COVID being like it is, that could change this year, but that's the way it's been in years past. Same thing for other fall athletes like volleyball and soccer and things like that too. So.
Alrighty. From Brittany Harper. How much freedom do freshmen have in choosing courses?
So one of the things that you'll find, like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, but it's fine if you if you weren't here for that. So as you come in, no matter what degree path you have, you're always going to have courses that are requirements for graduation, right? So you may have to take an English course even though you're not an English major. That's something that's part of being in college, right? Part of that is to kind of broaden your mindset, get you kind of outside of your boundaries. Think out the box, outside the box a little bit. When you come in for SOAR, one of the things that we try to do is we're going to match you up with an academic advisor that, is there for you to help you in your academic career. And one of the things I always tell my students is let them know what you plan on doing after graduation, what your goals are, what you want to do as a career, what you're interested in. They're going to try and help you throughout the process. With me in history, I'm an American history guy. I've loved American history, especially around, the World War era. So a lot of my classes were mainly around that. I will say, that's something that, you're going to have some of those classes your first 2 years. But as you get further on in your junior and senior year, it's going to be a lot more of them, right? So you're still going to have some courses in there that you have to have for graduation, those Common Core classes. But like I said, further into your sophomore year and your junior year, you're going to realize, okay, it's getting more and more just the classes that are, specifically around my major. And typically by your senior year, you're going to be taking probably 95% of whatever your major is as far as classes are concerned. And like I said, when you're actually here on campus as a student and we have advising day and you meet with your advisor, you can have some input in there too. Just let them know. And I can't stress this enough. Listen to what they have to say, because part of their job is making sure that you graduate on time, making sure that you graduate with your degree that you want and need. But then too, like if you see a course that you like and you've talked to them about it and they said, yeah, that'll fit, let them know. Don't be quiet about that. You don't want to be stuck with one that you're not, you don't like, or you're like, I don't know why I took this class. Speak up. Let them know. They can't read your mind. If they could, just like but yeah, just try to be open about stuff like that.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, if you don't do 8 o'clock in the morning, if you're a late sleeper, that's a good thing about college. You don't have to do an 8 o'clock class most times. Now, there may be some within your major, that's the only time they're offered. You have to suck it up that semester and do it. But most of the time, if you're like, I really don't get up early, I don't want to take an 8 o'clock class, that's that's fine. Or conversely, if you like to get up early and get it over with, that's the way I was. You could just say, I want to do 8, 9, and 10, and then be done.
Okay. I'm going to put a question on the screen.
Okay. Okay. So Nehemiah Harper. So I'm going to answer this. Are there any rules for your dorm? We do have RAs. So your RAs are there to help you out. They kind of answer any questions you got. There are some rules. Like I said, it's one of those things where your RA, when you come in for student orientation, they're going to let you know the rules, stuff like that. They're going to keep in contact with you. Obviously, they're not going to crack down on you too terrible if maybe you break the first one, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. But definitely, your RAs are going to be there to kind of help you out. Standard stuff. Just try to be receptive, listen to what they have to say, and make sure. But yeah, there are some rules. But yet again, that will come when you do student orientation. They'll go over everything specifically with you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Specific side.
Yes, I think she's talking about. I think Crystal hit the wrong button there.
I'm sorry, guys. I hit the wrong button.
Oh,
Bear with me
Okay,
one moment. Let's get back.
There we go.
to
There
that.
we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we are.
New technology. We're all
Okay.
learning it here, so we're learning together. So we're all
That's right.
we're all trying to make it work here. So
Okay, but Shifty to Real does have another question.
okay.
Knowing that Chowan is a Christian school, do you have to cover your tattoos?
no. So like I said before, we've got students that have all different types of backgrounds, that have all different kinds of interests. So we have a lot of students that have tattoos. We have a lot of students that don't, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, the only thing that we do ask, I mean, there are some dress code rules at Chowan. I mean, we just ask that that you be modest in what you're wearing and make sure that what you're wearing is appropriate to like go to class and things like that. But other than that, I mean, if you've got a tattoo on your arm or your leg or something like that, no, we're not going to make you cover it.
I will say one of the neatest ones I've ever seen. One of my friends in the history department, she actually had an entire tattoo of Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft on her thigh, going all the way down to her leg because she was a super Harry Potter fan.
So if you got that, you're still cool.
Yeah,
So,
you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should be fine. Don't worry about that. Like Scott said, as long as you're, obviously we don't want anything, derogative on your clothing, anything like that. But usually, I mean, that's not really an issue. You should be fine. So.
Well, guys, it's getting close to time.
Okay.
So do y'all want to go ahead and do this drawing?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, you do the honors, Blake. You're
Alright.
closer.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, here we go. I'll leave that right there. Let's see here. Chowan
Chowan
U24 and stuff. So yeah, if you don't mind, just DM us and we'll get you your stuff sent out to you. So yeah, congratulations though.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us on
Yeah.
this session. We've got one more left. We've got Ebony, and I think Rodney's joining in on that one. So for those of you that have worked with Rodney from Maryland or readmits or whatever, you'll get a chance to. I know you met him earlier, but you'll get a chance to kind of chat with him on a more casual basis now. So that'll be coming up in just a few. So we'll take just a short break, and then we'll be right back.
Yep.
All right. Hello, everyone. So we are back. My name is Rodney Countryman. I am the campus visit coordinator and admissions counselor here at Chowan.
Hi, I'm Ebony Cease. I'm an admissions counselor here at Chowan as well.
All right, so I graduated from Chowan in 2017. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in, humanities studies. I honestly forgot. So humanities studies, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in that. While at Chowan, I was a presidential ambassador. I was an an admissions student worker. So I worked in our admissions office under our work study program. I was a resident assistant, so I did a lot of things in the residence hall. So I was just one of those very utilized, fun students. But that's a little bit about me.
Okay. I graduated from Frostburg State University, which is a school in Western Maryland. While I was in college, I was in a sorority. I worked 2 jobs, one being an ambassador for admissions as well. And we just moved to North Carolina, and now I'm at Chowan, and I love it.
Absolutely. All right, so we're definitely going to be answering questions from you all. So, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to comment and let us know what your questions are. We're going to answer them. And then, of course, Crystal, who's our moderator, she's going to read some questions that we all have. So let's just go ahead and get started.
Okay, we're going to start off with a question from Alexis Mallory. And she wants to know, how large are the class sizes?
Good question. All right, so what's really cool about Chowan is our student-to-teacher ratio is about 16-1, but that's also a general class size. So you'll be looking at being in like a lot of your major classes. You'll be looking at being in those classes with about maybe 10 to 15 students once you're in there. Being a student here, I think one of the smaller classes I had was me, maybe about 7 other students and a professor, which was really cool. So I was able to get that one-on-one attention. And of course, the dumb questions that I thought were dumb in my mind was very relevant to the class. So I was able to say, hey, need some help here. So that's definitely cool. So of course, you're looking at those small classroom sizes. Now, with you being a first year student, with you coming in and things like that, you will have those larger classroom sizes. So you're roughly looking at maybe 30 to 35 students in those first year courses. But once you get later on down the line and things like that, you'll see it kind of dwindle down.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything to add?
No, that's a great answer.
All right. So from Chowan U24, was your first time at college hard?
You want to take that one?
Yes, the first year was not difficult for me academically. I think it was adjusting to being independent and living on my own and making friends in a new space and having to put myself out there.
Yeah, for me, yes, it was. I'm a first generation college graduate. So I'm the only sibling that graduated from college. So it was a very hard transition. I didn't really kind of know where I wanted to be as far as things. So once I got here at Chowan, I was not very much well involved. I did not do a lot of things like my first 2 weeks here, but it took me going to a professor and a professor just letting her know how I felt. We cried together and she told me, you can do this. And of course, with the help from my mom, my sisters, and my dad and things like that, them pushing me to do it is really what helped me. However, I had to put in my mindset that, hey, this is something that I want to do. This is something that I'm interested in doing. So hard, yes, but manageable, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Blanca Valdez wants to know about dorm life. Like, she wants to know what happens in the dorms. Are there RAs? I mean, like, just give her a little information about that.
Okay.
Mr. Rosen's
All right. So when after graduating Chowan, I actually started working in our residence life department, and in September, I was blessed to be put into a position in admissions, which I love. So while in residence life, I mean, you have your resident assistant, that is the RA. That's the person who basically is enforcing rules and doing programming with you on the floor. And then, of course, you have an undergraduate resident director director, who is generally that person who's going to be there with you, that is kind of making sure the building is in order. Then you go to area directors. Those are professional staff members who live on campus to ensure that the safety of students, they work with public safety to make sure each student is safe. And then, of course, you just have the general residence life office, ID pictures, all those things. But in the dorm, in the residence halls, what you'll see, each residence hall has a lobby. So you have a lobby where you can go watch some TV, hang out with some friends, do things like that. And then, of course, you have your room, 2 people to a room, cable TVs included, Wi-Fi is included. All of that stuff is included in your room. For the guys who are gamers, I'm sorry, I am an Xbox person, so sorry to the PS people. That's just not me. But of course, you are allowed to bring your Xbox. You're allowed to bring your PlayStation. You're allowed to bring your TV. I walked into a room one time. They had a 70-inch TV in their room. So that's kind of where we would game at. So it's all definitely what you make it. The residence halls is what you make it. Community restrooms, so the floor shares a bathroom. So roughly about 17 to 20 students will share a community restroom. If you're like me, make sure you bring your shower shoes and your bleach. And then, of course, community laundry. So if you have, when you need to wash clothes and things like that, you ought to be able to do that inside of your residence hall. So you don't have to haul your stuff to another building.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to place a question on the screen. If you
Okay.
don't mind reading it.
All right. For Miss Gabby Vines, can you work on campus your first year?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So you can work on campus. You'll work what is called is work study. So once you have filled out your federal aid, your federal application for student aid, I believe I said that right, also known as FAFSA. Once you fill that out, you'll actually be able to click the box that you want work study. So you'll check that you want work study. Now, work study is one of those things, it's first come, first served basis. So of course, you want to make sure you check it. You want to make sure when it's time to start applying for the jobs on College Central Network, if you have more questions about that, reach out to your admissions counselor. They'll be able to get to you. But you'll be able to apply for jobs on College Central. I'm our work study supervisor in the admissions office. So of course, each office on campus has it. You can do admissions, you can do residence life, you can go to the business office, financial aid office. You can even work with your major. So if you're a biology major, you can actually be a laboratory assistant for the biology department. If you're a psychology major, you'll be the front desk person in the psychology department. So kind of whatever you want to do, wherever you want to work, you'll be able to work with things like that with work study on campus. Great question.
Okay, and Gabby has another question. I'm just going to go ahead and post.
All right. Gabby Vines, are cars allowed on campus?
Yes. Yes. Cars are allowed on campus, and freshmen can bring their cars and park for free. You just have to register your car with public safety and get a parking pass.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
We have a question from Instagram from Olivia.Ann.Willer.
Hey, Olivia Willer!
And Olivia wants to know, did y'all have any ways to relieve stress from assignments and meeting new people?
Ask it one more time.
Did y'all have any ways to relieve stress from assignments? I guess, and as
Okay.
well as meeting new people. I guess she wants to know how that works.
Right. So this is a really a great question, Olivia. Honestly, it's really great. So with that, our student affairs staff is very, very equipped to help all of our students. So we have a campus counselor. Her name is Yolanda Majette. She's absolutely amazing. So for those moments to where maybe you just need some guidance, maybe you just need, a fresh breath of air or anything like that, you can definitely go to Miss Majette, and she'll be there to help you, give you some advice, give you some guidance and things like that. As far as relieving stress for papers and exams, Student Life puts on a number of events all the time for students. So every fourth Wednesday is bingo, where you can win some cash money prizes. So you'll be able to do that. Let's see, every Tuesday is movie night. So with movie night, we have a contract with a company to where where we can get some of the movies that are just released to be able to play. So we'll do things like that, but definitely just getting involved in a lot of the campus events and things like that. Now, further towards the end of the semester, if you're looking at doing some things like some stress relief as far as exams, we have an exam break session to where you'll be able to go into the Hawk's Nest, and in the Hawk's Nest is our student center. You'll be able to go there. They have massage tables set up. They have a cereal bar set up. They have a number of things set up for you to kind of relieve stress. And that's the same, Olivia, with going to meeting new people. I trust me, I know it's hard to meet new people, even though it looked like I can talk to a brick wall, because I can't. But I know how hard it is to be able to talk and meet new people. But literally, it's just you getting out, going into your residence halls, going to the events and things that they have on campus, and definitely getting to meet people. I always tell students this: you have to think about it. When all of our fresh year students get here, all of you all are in the same boat. All of you all are brand new. This is new territory to you all. So everyone is feeling some type of scaredness or some type of pullback. So it's just going to take one person to step out and say, okay, I know that he's feeling this way. I know that she's feeling this way. Let me step out to be the one to say, hey, my name is Rodney. Nice to meet you. And move forward and things like that. But great question, Olivia.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now we have a question from Zuhair.
Okay.
Do you have a special way to congratulate high GPA students?
While here
Mm-hmm.
or coming in?
Both.
Okay, so while you're here, you can be in the Honors College. You can also be a part of a Greek organization that aligns with your major. Any others?
And then, so for our students who excel high in the classroom, just like Miss Ebony said, you can definitely be invited to join the Honors College. And then, of course, she talked about the Greek letter organizations as far as academics. So we each program have a honor society that's geared towards it. So when I was a student here, I started off as an education major. So I was in Kappa Delta Pi, which is an honor society for education majors. And then, of course, I was inducted into Pi Gamma Mu, which is a honor society for social sciences. So if you're looking to get involved in any of those things like that, of course, you need to make sure you're maintaining a GPA of a 3.0 and above to be able to be into those programs and things like that. But Honors College, you are invited into Honors College. Let's say you get all A's, you can make the president's list, you can make the dean's list. Our president's list and dean's list students are invited to a special dinner with the president and some faculty and staff members there to that supported you all through that semester and things like that. But yes, it is definitely academic programs. And for our incoming students, so what'll happen is if your GPA and test scores were at a high amount and you are invited into Honors College, you'll start that your freshman year. But if you were not invited, do not fret, because once you get your first semester classes in, you will be able to have a chance to be in Honors College. So.
And Zuhair also has another question. How do you deal with students from different backgrounds and religions from all over the world?
Right.
How do we deal with them as staff, or?
Like, how do you? Yeah.
I mean, I think one thing that's been reiterated throughout the day is that Chowan's a big family. So we aren't looking for the differences that are going to keep us apart. We are willing to embrace everyone, to bring us together. Everyone has something new to add to the picture, and that's what we want. We want to make a big, beautiful picture of all the different people, talent, ideas that come to Chowan.
Right, and definitely just being supported. Not only being supported as administrators, but sometimes it takes us to be supported to you as a friend, being supportive to you as a confidant and things like that. So, I mean, of course, when you get here and you are from a different religion or you are from a different background, you are from a different country and things like that, Chowan is more inclusive. So we want to include every background. We want to include every student. We want to include every religion. We want to include everything in what we do, because at the end of the day, that's what Christians do, no matter what. So we are more inclusive than anything with every student, no matter the background.
Okay. I'm gonna put another question on the screen.
Okay. Does Chowan Gabby says, does Chowan serve soul food other than fried chicken? So that is a very good question. Fried Chicken Tuesdays is the best days on campus, and that's Tuesday is Fried Chicken Day. That's where you get your mac and cheese, your potatoes, mashed potatoes, string bean greens, all of that good stuff, good roll. So that's generally the day. But what you can look for, like on Wednesdays, they do the mac and cheese bar. So you can go in, you can get some mac and cheese, you can add buffalo chicken to it, bacon to it, you can add just about anything to the mac and cheese bar. Let's see. Generally on the days they do rotisserie chicken. Pizza line is always open for students. The CAF just started, well, not just started, but they've been doing a lot of different things with working with our students who are vegan, working with our students who are vegetarian and things like that. So my favorite thing in the CAF now is couscous. My first time ever having it was like maybe last year sometime, and I fell in love with it. And I think the CAF has the best couscous in the world, and I can say that over and over again every day. Seriously. I'm serious.
Now I want some mac and cheese, so if you will just excuse me.
Okay. I guess that brought it to the next question from Miss Rochelle Triplett. And you kind of touched base on it some, Rodney. But she wants to know, like, does the dining hall accommodate people with allergy restrictions or food, allergies?
You want to?
Yes, so our dining hall food services do work with people with certain allergies. You have to communicate that with them. And now, how would they go about communicating that with them?
Right. So what you'll do is, if that's something, if you're having anything like that, so we do have an SGA representative for each department as well. So our SGA representative, which is our student government representative, so our student government representative of campus life will be one of the people that you'll definitely want to include in the conversation. So you'll bring them in with our director of dining services, and you'll just let them know, hey, I need gluten-free food, can't have MSG, I'm vegan, I'm a vegetarian, anything like that, you'll let them know. And generally they will have a meal that's completely gluten-free, or they will have a completely vegan meal. They provide so many options in the CAF for you to be able to make sure that you are meeting your dietary needs. They provide so many options for you, but it's definitely something that you want to talk to the SGA representative for campus life, and then of course talk to the director of dining services here.
Olivia has another question, and she did say, "Hey guys."
Hey.
She says, "Should our major be chosen by what we are interested in, or what will get us a job?"
Ooh,
that's a great
good
question.
Olivia.
I wish I had asked that.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just gonna completely speak from experience, okay? So when I was looking into going to college and things, I knew that a teacher would always be around. So I said, okay, I'm gonna be an elementary education major. I got into the program. I absolutely loved it. I loved my professors. I loved the friends I made. However, I just came to the realization one night that I don't think that I would be able to work in the classroom every single solitary day with students. So that's when I switched my major to humanities, because it just gave me a chance to have a broader job search and things like that. So I don't choose a major because of a job. Don't choose a major you choose the major that's closest to your heart. So if you want to be an English major because you want to be an English teacher, then you should do it. If you want to do a graphic design major because you have dreams to become a gamer, game designer, anything like that, you do it. Because eventually you pay for school. So you don't want to pay for a degree that you're going to look at and say, why did I waste my time here? So definitely looking at what you want to do.
All right, thank you so much.
You anything?
I same completely. I think my biggest fear was going into college and having a major and someone saying, well, what are you going to do with that? And me saying, I don't know. Which now as an adult, I realize like if you're passionate about something, you're going to make that work for you. If it's a career that's never been done before, you're going to be the person that creates it. You just have to be passionate and want to learn more and take it as far as you can.
I hope that answered your question, Olivia. We have another question from Suair. Do you have an international student in the CAV so we try and eat food from different kitchens?
Good question. So we have a international students club, and they host a lot of different events for our international students. However, the CAF is known for a lot of different special days. So they actually do a international food night. I believe they do it maybe once or twice a semester, and they set up the flags outside of our cafeteria. They put the flags inside of our cafeteria. They have food. And they have food from all over. That's the first time I tried the couscous, y'all, and I was like, I can't do this. So that was when I first tried the couscous, and they do different things, and they actually let the director of the dining services here. He actually speaks to the international students to see, hey, what dishes would you all like? So jerk chicken, couscous. They have a lot of Mexican food. They do this salad. I have no idea what the salad is. It's a Mediterranean salad, but they just go above and beyond, and it's so good. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put another question on the screen.
Okay. Miss Desiree Reeves. What about my roommate? Well, I have a roommate with the same major as me. Great question, Miss Desiree. All right. So, when I believe we sent all new students a housing preference form in the mail. If you have not received one, make sure you reach out to your admissions counselor so they can get you that as soon as possible. So here's what happens. The application for the roommate process is just like a dating app. That sounds really crazy, but I'm telling you, it really is. So it's going to ask you, what music do you like? It's going to ask you, how cold do you like the room? It's going to ask you those questions that Residence Life will be able to match you with the perfect roommate. So when you're filling out the housing preference forms, moms, if you're watching, don't fill it out. You guys make sure you fill the form out so that way you can select the roommate for you. And they're going to ask, what time do you go to bed? I'm an 8:30, 9 o'clock person, so I don't need a roommate that go to bed at 2 o'clock. However, if you are a 2 o'clock going to bed type of person, then of course that's what you need to put on there so you can go to bed at that time. But she asked, will my roommate have the same major as me? So it just depends. A lot of times you will find that roommates are very similar with having majors and things like that. But what we try to do is we try to put our students with different students. So we just don't want you to be in there with somebody that's your major or anybody that's very, very similar to you. We want you to meet new and different people. So you may be a music major and may have a biology major major roommate as your roommate, and with that y'all will be able to talk, y'all will be able to connect more and things like that, so y'all are getting to know each other.
Okay. Questions are pouring in, y'all.
See?
I'm excited. All right.
Hey Kendra, all right, hello. If I was interested in playing this sport, who would I talk to? All right, so you'll definitely let your admissions counselor know. So let your admissions counselor know, hey, I'm interested in playing this sport or anything like that. And then what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to www.gocuhawks.com, and then you'll go in there and you'll select the sport that you're interested in. So once you select the sport, I'm literally walking you all through the website in my head because I do it so much. So you'll go and then you'll click recruitment information. So once you click recruit information, it's going to ask you to fill out a form that's done by the NCAA. So we need that form if you're interested in playing a sport. So make sure you get that form filled out, get those things turned in, and then of course coaches will reach out to you. You'll want to send them stats, you'll want to send them cool, you'll want to be the one that's communicating through the emails. Again, moms, y'all know we love you all, but guys, you all have to do the communication and things like that. So that's, if you're interested, definitely let your admissions counselor know. Oh my
Okay,
God.
here we go.
So,
Here's another one.
Okay. All right. Gabby Vine says, this is my first time being away from home. Is my mother allowed to stay the night in my dorm?
Good question.
that is a good question.
Yes.
So, okay.
No.
I mean, they can have guests,
Yes.
but your mom can't be one of those guests.
Yeah. So the way it works, okay, so let's say you have a best friend that goes to another college and you're convincing them to come to Chowan, of course, because that's what you're going to do. So if you have a best friend that went to another college and they want to come visit you, they can come visit you. They can stay the night. They just have to be registered through Residence Life. Now, moms and dads and parents and guardians and things like that, no, they can't. And yes, just no. Great question. But they can come visit you during the weekend. They can come visit you during the day. They can bring you groceries like my parents did. They can bring you money like my parents did. They can do those things for you. But of course, with you being a student here, you're going to be like, okay, mom, time to go. I want to get back to class. I want to get back to my friends. You're going to be wanting to do those things. You're not going to want her to stay tonight.
Okay, so Kendrea Beckett did say thank you for answering her questions.
You're welcome.
And I hope that answered your question, Gabby and Desiree.
Yes.
We're gonna move over to the Instagram page for a minute. We have some more questions.
Okay.
One from Zuhair. What is the most exciting thing about Chowan?
You go.
That's what I actually got.
Yes.
So for me, I would say the most exciting thing is sports. The first event I participated in Chowan at all was a football game, and it was probably, I mean, just so much school spirit, so much community spirit, so much just Chowan pride. And I mean, I couldn't tell you who won or lost, but I had a really good time just because like the Hawk was coming around giving high fives, and everybody was in such a great mood and such great spirits. So that was the most exciting part about Chowan for me.
So mine has changed. I mean, as a student, it was always, maybe mine didn't change. Okay, so yeah, it didn't change. Mine is the same. So welcome week, like the first week of school, is my absolute favorite. I just love to see how everybody from all over the world come for welcome week. Move-in day. You just got all new students here. Then you have the returning students returning. You have everybody trying to meet everyone. You have everyone kind of under the hustle or bustle. Okay, do I need to go to the caf now? You just have kind of the hecticness. Like it makes me like so excited. Like it makes me look at all the students and say, you're gonna get your schedule down packed. So I think the hecticness of welcome week is like my favorite part. It's like so funny. I mean, even for us as staff members, like we're making sure students have their books. We're making sure students have a lot of the different things. They're coming to the office. They're asking us questions. It's just a lot going on, and I'm like, I love this.
Okay. So Olivia has another question, and it's kind of a two-parter.
Mhm.
So she's asking, would I be better off, in y'all's opinion, going with a major in elementary education or psychology? Then she makes a comment again and says, I wanted to do a major in elementary education and a minor in psychology, but they said it would be tough.
So, good question.
That's a great question.
So, I would say, okay, so you're not required to declare your final major until your final steps until when? Your senior? Is it junior?
Junior.
Your junior year. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said senior. So your junior year, that's when you put a stamp on, this is what I'm graduating with. So if you were to come in, you want to do elementary education. So keep that as your main focus. And then once it's time for you to get into going into you get into the hang of things, you're getting used to going to classes, you're getting used to the papers, you're getting used to all that stuff. Once you're getting used to all that, then you see, okay, should I do psychology as a minor? Do I have time to get into it and things like that? So that would definitely be be something that I think I would do. A minor is not as hard. The only thing is with being an elementary education major or education major in general, education major in general, you do have to do observation hours, which is very fun. So you actually get to go into a lot of the local schools, and you'll actually be able to observe teachers. So when I was an education major, I actually observed 2 teachers who were teachers of the year. So I was able to build a connection, so I knew if I was going to stick with it, they would help me get a job. But I was also able to get that hands-on experience. And then, of course, if you still are kind of struggling and things like that, you can take elective courses. So if you say, okay, I like psychology, I like education, but for some odd reason, I'm really interested in pre-art therapy. You can take a art class that doesn't require you to have a what's the class prerequisite. So you can actually take an art class to see, okay, is this something for me? And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. If you wanted to say, okay, maybe I'm interested in criminal justice, you can take an intro to criminal justice class to see, hey, if this is something I'm interested in. So yeah, I hope I answered it, Olivia.
Okay. I'm almost losing track of so many questions. Yeah.
I see that one.
Okay. We'll go to this one.
Okay. Gabby Vine says, what's campus security like?
Present. I would say, yeah, I mean, every time I'm walking on campus, you will see a campus security car, whether it's the golf cart or their actual vehicle driving around campus. And I know that when the seasons start to change and it starts to get darker faster, if you are one of those people with a later class and you don't feel safe or comfortable walking back to your residence hall by yourself, you can call campus security, whose number you will receive upon move-in, to help you get home.
Right. And with campus security, we have 2 entities to campus security. So we have our official campus police. So that is a department and a sector of campus safety. And then, of course, you also have our public safety officers, who are those officers who are on campus. We do have public safety booths to where you can go to the booths if you need to talk to a public safety officer and things like that. But a lot of our public safety officers are actually driving. They're doing rounds around campus. They're in the residence halls. They just don't want you to know them as, oh Lord, I'm getting in trouble. And they're there. They actually want to get to know you as a student and get to know you. So they're doing rounds in the residence halls. They're doing rounds around and things like that. And then, of course, a couple of years ago, we put out this new thing, and it's called Rave. So Rave is our Guardian app. So what you'll do, you'll be able to download that app. You'll be able to have public safety watch you walk from Parker Hall, which is our first year male residence hall, all the way up to the Collins Building, which is our historic building founded in 1848. So you will be able to have those people watch you. You'll be able to have them call. Let's say if you and your friend, or your friend is waiting on you and you just didn't show up yet. So your friend can actually ping you on the app to get public safety to see where you are. So that's kind of our way. I think I have it on my phone. I know I have it on my phone. And it's like really easy to use, user friendly. Our logo, all that good stuff is up there, but you'll be able to get this app downloaded. You can make emergency calls. If you want to report something and you want to report it anonymously, you can actually do that through the app and things like that. So that's what campus safety is like. And they are a part of student affairs. All right.
Somebody said they like your sweater.
Thank you. Who said they like my sweater? I got it from H&M. I see you said, where's it from? I got it from H&M.
This is another question from Gabby.
Okay. Great question, Gabby. So when you're referring to, let's see, so what happens is our,
so that our Instagram people can know.
Sorry, Instagram. All right. So the question is, are the parties lit? Funny question. All right, so our director of student life, Bradley Cash, and his departments put on a lot of different events for our students. So each year they have, well, last year they just started a pool party. So at the beginning of the semester, they had the grill out. They had games outside, inside of the pool, which is our Brown Aquatic Center. Inside of there, the DJ was there. Everyone was in the pool. It was really nice. I ain't get in the pool. I just put my feet in there. But I was there with the students having a good time and things like that. So that was really fun. I know they did the silent party. So it's when you put the big old headphones in, you can click 3 buttons on the side and you can listen to like the updated like radios and things like that. I know that was really fun. They do a formal event, which is kind of like I guess you would say a prom or things like that. So they do that around Valentine's Day. That is known as our snowball. And then of course, like after like our homecoming, so we have a homecoming step show and dance. So that's really fun. So are the parties lit? I'm not going to answer that, but I'm going to say we do have campus events that are fun for students.
All right, here's the next question from Kendrea.
All right, Kendrea, are there any stores near campus or do you have a shuttle to take you shopping? Very, 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 very great question. All right, so Chowan is in a very rural area, very small area, but we're in the, okay, this is how we put it here. We're in the middle of nowhere, but we're in the middle of everything. In our like town, of course, we have Family Dollar, Dollar General, kind of those essential stores that are still open during COVID-19. By the way, shout out to all those essential workers that are out here doing everything that you're doing to keep us still running. But yeah, so all the essential stores that you need, like our grocery stores, things like that is in town. Now, our Walmart is about 12 miles away. So that's where you'll go for Walmart and things like that. Now, we do have a shuttle that takes students at the beginning of each semester. Now, what happens is once you get here, you can bring your car on campus. Like we said, no charge or anything like that. So you can have your car on campus. But what generally happens is in your friend group, at least 2 of y'all will have a car. So if y'all needed to go anywhere, y'all will pack up in the car. I know when I was a student, I had a car, and I'll never forget, I think it was 8 of us driving in a 1996 Cadillac DeVille to church. It was 8 of us in the car, and we're like this, and I'm like, can you? So, of course, your friends, will help you with things like that. But yeah, good question.
All right. I hope that answered that.
Yes. Perfect.
All right, so we're going to move back over to Instagram. We have a question from the Chowan Men's Lacrosse.
Okay.
Given the pandemic, can we visit the campus this summer? And are there guidelines to a campus visit? Great question.
That is such a good
Perfect question.
Yes.
And Miss Ebony should answer it.
Thank you so much, Men's Lacrosse, for joining us. So we are following CDC guidelines, the government guidelines, and just keeping your general health and safety in mind. We are having campus visits. We are trying to keep them small with our individual visits. Hand sanitizer, masks are available and encouraged for our visitors to use. And we also are offering virtual tours with your admissions counselor right now.
Right. And if you have not seen Riding with Rodney, I don't know who's the crazy guy named Rodney, but you can go to www.chowan.edu/maps and you will see right at the bottom is a video called Riding with Rodney. That gives you that quick, if you're looking for I need to see, that gives you that. But of course, if you're looking for a more extensive, we do Google Meets and we do Zoom campus tours with our admissions counselors, and then of course we will start hosting back on campus visits. So great question, thank you, Men's Lacrosse. We know him, guys, that's why we're laughing.
Okay, and from Zuhair, he wants to know, can we use the golf carts on campus?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot use the golf carts on campus unless you are a work study student for that department. So yes, but you just can't go grab a golf cart and say, let me go to class because I don't feel like walking. No, but if you're a work study student with that department that has a golf cart, you can. If you're approved.
For work.
For work.
Yeah, don't just take the golf cart and get off.
Yeah.
Okay. David, I think this is David Cross, Rodney. He said, hey, Rodney.
Hello, David. How are you, David Cross? David is an alumni. He graduated in 2018. David, don't beat me up if I get that wrong. And he was a undergraduate resident director. So David, hey man.
He's sending the crying emoji.
All right.
Okay. So another question from Josue Lopez wants to know what sort of student will succeed here at Chowan.
Any student. Any student will succeed here at Chowan. You can be, I did not graduate high school with the best GPA at all, but Chowan was the school that gave me a chance. So when I got here, I took that chance and I took it serious. So I wasn't the smartest kid, but I applied myself. I put my heads in the books. I did a lot of things that I did not think that I could do. I made the president's list. I made the dean's list, like I told you. I did a lot of things. So any student, no matter the background, you can go from 1.3 to PhD. Be looking out for our vice president of enrollment management book. He is definitely doing a book on 1.3 to PhD. You can do whatever you put your mind to. There's no specific student that can succeed here. You can do it.
Yeah, college is all about being determined, independent, and driven, and you have to really push yourself to be your best. So what you want to get out of it is what you're going to put into it. So that's the type of student that would succeed here.
Okay. And David said 2019.
Oh, it was 2019. Okay.
Okay. If you look at the screen, we're gonna have another question.
All right. Nikolai Corey says, can I bring my bike? Hey, Nick. Yes, absolutely. You can bring your bike on campus. You cannot park your bike inside your residence hall. There are parking spaces for bikes outside of each residence hall for you to be able to park your bike. If you do bring a bike, make sure you bring the stuff to keep your bike locked on the bike rack, because you don't want any birds or anything coming to knock your bike over. Where Squirrel Park has all the vicious squirrels, so you don't want a squirrel coming biting your tire. So yeah. Yes, you can bring your bike.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Nick. The next question is from Chowan U24.
Okay.
And this is a good question for y'all who want to make a little extra money on campus.
Okay.
What work study programs do you offer?
Great question. Again, every department on campus, just about every department on campus, have to where you can work study. So no matter what, like I said, admissions office, you can work there. The service enterprise, that's our mailing, you can work there. If you're a biology major, you could be a lab assistant. If you're very smart, you could be a tutorer. You can be a tutor. So you can be a tutor. Let's see, what else? If you want to work in residence life, you can be an RA, or you can be an office assistant. If you want to work in athletics, you can work at athletic events. If you want to...
If you like the food, you can work in dining services.
Yes, you can. And you can work in MRFs, because you can make those good old cheeseburger, chicken tenders, french fries, and all that good stuff. Good question.
Yes, great question. Zuhair has another question. How can you motivate students to be more productive in studies and athletics?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's saying from a student's perspective or staff member.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Personally, for me, the dollar amount is what motivated me. This is, I'm investing in myself and my education, so I want to make sure that I'm getting the most out of it. And it only counts if you actually get it. So you have to really apply yourself and be self-motivated, but also there are students around you who are doing the same thing and going through the same thing. So just knowing that you're not alone, and I think in itself is a motivator.
Yeah, and definitely utilizing the resources on campus. That's the biggest thing that a lot of students sometimes forget about. We have resources on campus to assist you. If you're feeling down, we have the campus counselor. If you just are having a small amount of trouble in any class, then you could go to our academic success. And if you're not comfortable with going to academic success, you can go to the professor. We have a program called I'm In for each professor, an advisor on campus. And the I'm In program basically means that the professor is in their office beyond their office hours. They're in their office working for you day in and day out. So, of course, if you're finding yourself losing that motivation, the first thing you would want to do is grab onto some of the resources that we have on campus and utilize those first. And if you're still finding ways to where, okay, I'm still not motivated, then of course that's when we'll say, hey, go talk to the campus counselor. Is that really the major that you want to do? Is college something that you want? We would dig in deep to see, is this really what you want to do? So, but stay motivated. It's easy. Once you get the hang, it's not going to come overnight when you get here. It's not going to happen the first 2 weeks when you get here. It comes over time. And then your motivation will come from now. I just need to graduate. I just need to graduate. Your motivation will come from I'm waiting to get my dream job. Your motivation will even come from, hey, I got accepted into this school. Hey, I have this intern. Your motivation will come from different things like that. But great questions here.
And Zuhair has another question. Can you tell us a little bit about healthcare at Chowan?
Right. So we have a wellness center which is located in the building we're in now. So it's located in Penny Hall, and it's downstairs. So we do have a campus nurse. She's here Monday through Friday. So you'll be able to go to her if you're feeling sick. Now she's not a medical surgeon or anything like that, but she is here to help you, to refer you to a doctor's office if she has to. She can refer you to the hospital if she needs to, or she can refer you to take different medicines or try different things to make yourself feel better. But we do have a campus nurse here who's here Monday through Fridays.
Okay. And we have a question over here from Heather Lucy.
All right. Hey, Miss Heather. All right. Can freshmen have a car on campus their first year?
Yes, freshmen can have a car on campus and you can park it for free. You just have to register your car with your campus safety.
Great question. Y'all are just coming in with the questions. I'm enjoying this.
And we have some more from Instagram.
Okay.
NJK
Mhm.
underscore. Oh, let me say that again.
Mhm.
NJ underscore NJK.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, is that Nick?
Yes.
Okay. How can I get help in securing a job or in an internship after graduation? Does Chowan offer resources for that? Great question.
Great question.
One thing that I noticed and that you'll notice when you go into our academic buildings is that each building has, what is that board called? The push pins board. You know exactly what
A
I'm
bulletin
talking
board.
about. Bulletin board. It was
Bulletin
right there.
board.
Okay, so there's a bulletin board with surprise bulletins that have different graduates from this major, what they're doing, different internship and job opportunities. All that's posted there. So when you're going to class every day, you're kind of accosted with these, opportunities and different success stories.
Absolutely. And then definitely utilizing, once again, I can't help but keep talking about resources over and over again. So what you'll do is you'll definitely be able to go and talk to our career services director. Alan Scott, absolutely amazing. He works with our students to get them internships. Each semester, he holds an internship fair. He holds a college fair. He holds a job fair for our students. He's able to do those things. Definitely going to talk to him to get your resume hooked up. To make you marketable and things like that. So definitely following what the alumni are doing on each building when you go in. You actually get to see the bulletin boards, and then of course utilizing the direct. I'm looking over here because his office is right here. But over here I'm using our career services director, and then of course using your professors. using your resources. The professors have been working in their field nonstop. They have not only taught, our professors are people who came from the field that they're teaching in. So kind of picking their brains, seeing who they know, seeing what they know and things like that, definitely going to work with them. And then, of course, go to www.chowan.edu/open house, and you'll actually be able to hear from some of our alum. They have videos up there.
No, that's a good point when it comes back to our class sizes. There's during your time at Chowan, the people that are going to know you the best are going to be some of your professors. They're going to be the people that can recommend you for a job, that might see it somewhere that isn't posted and say, I have a student in my class,
Yeah.
my very small class, that would fit this profile. So definitely network and keep those relationships with your with your professors and other students.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Really quick, y'all, because we're running out of time.
Okay.
Could you
Answer this one?
Kendrea Beckett wants to know if you're allowed to bring your own fridge and microwave.
Absolutely. Bring your fridge and microwave. Yes. Once you get your housing assignment over the summer, it'll have the information up there on what sides and things like that. But yes, you can bring your own fridge and microwave.
Okay. And Desirous, I'm so sorry if I'm messing this up. Desirous18 on Instagram wants to know, how do I change my major? I signed up for biology and I would like to change it to sports medicine.
Perfect. So once you get here, once again, you don't have to declare your major until your junior year. So once you get here, you can literally go and see, you're going to meet with your academic advisor that Monday after move in. So you'll meet with your academic advisor and you can actually say, hey, this is not the major that I want. I want to do the sports major or any other major that any of you all want to change to. You'll be able to let them know. They'll get you changed. They'll get you squared away with things like that. But again, the best part about going to a liberal arts college is you do not have to declare your major. You don't have to apply into a major. You apply, you get accepted, and we get you ready for college. So you don't have to declare your major until your junior year. So if sports is something that you're interested in now, but later maybe not, you'll be able to switch that around. So
Okay, and last question from Olivia. This is good for commuters. If I am living off campus, do I need to fill out the housing form?
No. So what you'll do is you'll actually fill out the commuter housing form. That just has to be approved through the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Streeter. No, you don't have to fill out that. You just have to fill out the commuter application form. And it's literally just saying, my address is here, this is this and that. So yeah, good question, Olivia.
Good question.
Okay, and we're gonna do our drawing.
Okay. Y'all were asking some questions here.
I know you wanted to pick.
No, I can't wait to see.
Oh.
Yay! Kendrea, you won! You're gonna get a packet from us.
Just make sure to DM us your information.
Yes. But of course, we have come to the end. Thank you all so much for watching us. Thank you all for tuning in today. We had a lot of fun with you all. Of course, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to contact any admissions counselor. We'll be able to answer those questions for you. Once again, if you want a quick campus tour, make sure you go to chowan.edu/maps. Get you a good campus tour. If you haven't applied yet, www.chowan.edu/apply. Get you to apply. If you are very interested, you've applied, you've been accepted, feel free to reach out to your admissions counselor to pay your $100 advance tuition deposit. And then, of course, I could not read your note, and I just said it. He wrote me a note. All right, send us a picture. Oh, yes. Once you've got a t-shirt or anything like that, send us a picture of you in your Chowan gear. We sent out some cute packets. If you have a Chowan sticker, what's this? Oh yeah. Send us pictures of all that stuff. And if you want to post it. And this being hashtag choose Chowan, because we choose you. But of course, thank you all so much. And we're out, We had fun.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, let's end this. Whew. Y'all see us? I had to let them know.